This page is the cover of SEGA Saturn Magazine, dated November 28, 1997, Volume 41, priced at 290 yen. It features anime characters, highlighting major upcoming titles and features. The cover prominently announces the first reveal of two new games, Eve the Lost One and Langrisser, Dramatic Edition. Special reports are featured on popular games like Sakura Wars, Steam Radio Show, Azel, Panzer Dragoon RPG, known internationally as Panzer Dragoon Saga, Shining Force 2i, Scenario 1, Mobile Suit Gundam, Giran's Ambition, Burning Rangers, and a baseball simulation game. There is a special feature dedicated to falling in love with characters, showcasing various heroines. The cover also promotes a special interview with Kenji Ino. Original sections cover the latest SEGA Saturn software including Devil Summoners, Soul Hackers, SD Gundam G Century, J.League Pro Soccer Club 2, Vandal Hearts, and a complete guide section covering Layer Section 2, Jenga Force 2, and Dead or Alive. This page is a simple yet striking teaser for the game D2, developed by Warp. The page prominently features the game's title, D2, in large red characters, accompanied by the cryptic phrase, runs under, repeated below. This served as an early announcement, or hint, about the upcoming title from Kenji Ino's studio, a developer known for unique and atmospheric games. Given Kenji Ino is featured in an interview highlighted on the magazine's cover, this teaser page aligns with the magazine's focus on his work. This page provides the contact information for Warp Inc., the developer teased on the previous page. It lists their address in Tokyo, Japan, and their website, presented over an abstract red and dark background, alongside stylized blocks spelling out Warp. This page announces the upcoming SEGA Saturn title, Ochi Game Designer, Tsukute Pon. This software is described as a puzzle construction tool, allowing players to create their own falling block-style puzzle games, similar to titles like Puyo Puyo or Tetris. The vibrant artwork prominently features a character designed by the renowned Takami, aka, known for his work on the Princess Maker series and other Gainax productions. Adding to the game's appeal is the voice talent of Yuko Miyamura, famous for voicing Asuka in Neon Genesis Evangelion. The page highlights the excitement of finally being able to make the rumored falling game. Published by Packensoft/Victor Interactive Software, the game was scheduled for release on November 20, 1997, priced at 5,800 yen before tax. This page is a vibrant announcement for Ochi Game Designer, Tsukute Pon, a fascinating software tool for the SEGA Saturn that empowers players to become game designers. Tired of just playing falling block puzzle games? This allows you to create your own from the ground up. The page showcases the intuitive interface, demonstrating how easy it is to design graphics pixel by pixel, customize block types, numbers and sizes, and even set up game fields and gravity directions. Adding to the appeal is the character design work by the legendary Takami aka, whose distinctive style is evident in the guide character, Elf, voiced by the talented Yuko Miyamura. Beyond just blocks, the tool lets you create enemy characters and backgrounds, offering a deep, ultimate designer mode. The page also announces an exciting contest for aspiring designers, with the chance for the top puzzler in Japan to contribute to a future project. This release from Packensoft/Victor Interactive Software truly puts the power of creation in the player's hands. This page is the contents page for SEGA Saturn Magazine Volume 41, dated November 28, 1997. The main feature, starting on page 76, is titled Love the Character, and focuses on popular heroines appearing in games, anime, and manga. Following this, on page 18, is a special report highlighting upcoming or notable SEGA Saturn titles. This section covers a variety of games including Eve the Lost One, the Sakura Wars Kagekidan Radio Show, the epic RPG Panzer Dragoon Saga, listed here as Azel Panzer Dragoon RPG, the action-packed Burning Ranger, Langrisser Dramatic Edition, Mobile Suit Gundam, Giran's Ambition, Shining Force 2i Scenario 1, God of the Capital, Princess Crown, Legend of Heroes 2-1, Shiroki Majo, Sega Touring Car Championship, Tsuku Baseball, Puro Yaku Team Motsukuru, Marie's Atelier, Alchemist of Salzburg, and Magical Girl Pretty Same. The page features an illustration of Iceman from Burning Ranger. Finally, starting on page 122, there is a long interview with game designer Kenji Ino. This page serves as the comprehensive table of contents, laying out the magazine's features. It kicks off with sections detailing the latest SEGA Saturn releases, including titles like Warcraft 2, Dark Saga, and a game called Reflection Sparks. Following this is a look at software coming soon, teasing upcoming hits such as the highly anticipated Devil Summoner, Soul Hackers, the arcade racer Sonic R, Real Bout Fatal Fury Special, and Vandal Hearts. There's also a complete guide section, offering in-depth strategies for release software like the excellent Shooter Layer Section 2, and the fighting game Dead or Alive. A dedicated feature dives into the world of arcade games, highlighting Sega's amusement spot titles. A significant piece focuses on a developer interview with Sega AM3, specifically covering the iconic mech fighting game series, Virtuon X-Over. The extensive game index on the right lists a multitude of titles covered throughout the issue, from the epic RPG Panzer Dragoon Saga, listed here as a usual, and strategy titles like Mobile Suit Gundam, Giran's Ambition and Shining Force 2i Scenario 1, to fighting games like All Japan Pro Wrestling featuring Virtua and classics like Princess Crown. Beyond the games, the page outlines regular features covering news, reader contributions, developer columns, reviews, and the upcoming software release schedule. The page is visually anchored by an illustration related to Langrisser Dramatic Edition. This page highlights Sega Saturn's strategic moves for the competitive year-end and New Year sales period, announcing the first part of their campaign. Sega is giving away a special Otonoshimi 3 Shiro disc demo collection to customers who purchase a Sega Saturn console between late November 97 and early January 98. This demo disc features playable trials of 3 anticipated titles: the arcade racing game Sonic Char, the unique visual novel Mashai, and the first part of the tactical RPG epic, Shining Force 2i Scenario 1. The magazine expresses confidence in Sega's holiday software lineup. The page also turns its attention to the competition, specifically Sony Computer Entertainment Inc., SA, noting their countermove for the holiday season. Sony launched a new PlayStation model, the SCPH 7000, featuring the innovative DualShock controller as standard, and implementing a price cut. A similar campaign is underway for PlayStation, offering a demo disc with console purchases. The article finishes with a rallying cry for the Sega Saturn not to be outdone by the PlayStation's aggressive strategy. This page is packed with news about upcoming events and special offers for Sega fans. The Konami Entertainment Club, KEC, is promoting exclusive benefits, including a quarterly information Sadram called Kataram, offered at a discounted price for members. They're also selling a special member-only Tokimeki Memorial-themed PHS phone, a must-have, collectible for serious fans. Meanwhile, the All Japan Pro Wrestling featuring Virtua event is heating up at Sega Joyopolis in Tokyo, featuring game tournaments, talk shows, and special guests on November 16th. And if you're feeling creative, Sega is running a campaign asking for ideas for new Dippin' Dots ice cream flavors. The big focus here is the Digital Circus 97 event. Having kicked off elsewhere, it's now heading to Nagoya on November 15th and 16th, promising a ton of playable new games and exciting stages. Held at Port Messe Nagoya, the event boasts a performance by the Bolshoi Circus and features major highlights like a public recording for Mobile Suit Gundam, Giran's Greed, and a talk show with voice actors from Sentimental Graffiti, alongside other industry talks. It sounds like Nagoya is the place to be for Sega fans that weekend. This page dives into upcoming releases and fan events. Sega Saturn owners looking to get online will be interested in the release of Pad Nifty version 1.1 and Habitat 2, enhancing communication features and adding new data. Fashion-forward gamers can check out the Cospa Characterware Floor Show, highlighting apparel based on popular anime characters like Devilman and Zaku. For fans of Tokimeki Memorial, there's a special Christmas event planned on December 21st, featuring a photo session with voice actors from the OAV version. It's a limited spot event for fans to make some pre-Christmas memories. There's also a promotion for a minigame called Masugu ni Iku, a romance simulation game based on a manga, offering cute character keychains as a gift. Finally, the page features a section on new music releases, including singles from artists like Kuroyume, Arisa Mizuki, Vanity, and Kyoko, alongside arcade game soundtracks from Marvelous Entertainment for titles like Le Mans 24, Virtua Striker 2, and the classic Outruns. It's a solid lineup of music to check out. This page reviews guidebooks for Sega Saturn games, primarily focusing on Super Robot Wars F. 3 guides are examined: Takarajimasha's Flowchart Heavy Guide, Shinseisha's Data-Rich Guide, and SoftBank's Beginner-Friendly Guide. Beyond Super Robot Wars F, reviews cover guides for other genres. These include an official guide for All Japan Pro Wrestling featuring Virtua, with gameplay details and a unique psychological test. The Cyber Troopers Virtual On reference schematic offers in-depth game mechanics. The art book, Fragment of Black Complete Works, is praised for its artwork and story content. The Pickup section spotlights the game Robot Encyclopedia, a compilation of robot data from various video games, offering a nostalgic look at mecha in gaming. The page aims to enhance the SEGA Saturn gaming experience with diverse publications.
This page presents the weekly SEGA Saturn software sales ranking, offering a snapshot of what's currently popular with players. The section highlights the top 15 best-selling games, providing estimated weekly and cumulative sales figures, release details, and a brief description or comment for each entry. The top spot is held by All Japan Pro Wrestling featuring Virtua, maintaining its strong position from the previous week. Debuting at number 2 is the unique board game Culdicept, showing immediate popularity. Another new release, Ronde, lands at number 3, highlighting interest in its blend of simulation and RPG elements. Super Robot Wars F and Dead or Alive continue to perform well, sitting at number 4 and 5 respectively, demonstrating sustained demand for these established franchises in the strategy, RPG, and fighting game genres. Further down the list, you'll find other notable titles, like the classic shooter Galactic Attack, Layer Section 2, and the popular fighting compilation Street Fighter Collection. The introductory text notes that while new software is being released, the overall sales momentum feels a bit slow, but anticipates a busy rush of RPG releases as the year-end approaches, which players should look forward to. The page effectively shows which titles are currently dominating the market, and offers brief insights into why they are appealing to Saturn owners. This page presents interesting insights into the SEGA Saturn community's desires and the arcade scene of the time. The top section, User Data Top 20, reveals the games that Saturn owners most want to see ported to their console. It's fascinating to see highly popular titles from other platforms ranking high, such as Neon Genesis Evangelion, Pocket Fighter, Dragon Quest series, and Final Fantasy series, showing the appetite for these franchises on the Saturn. The accompanying text mentions the welcome news of a Langrisser In and 2 port decision, and highlights the movement of D's Dinner 2 and Pocket Fighter. So that, the Shop Data Top 15 shifts focus to the arcade world, listing the most popular games currently in arcades, based on data from various locations. This section is dominated by fighting games, which was typical for arcades then, featuring titles like Virtua Fighter 3 TB, Virtua Striker 2, Tekken 3, Darkstalkers, Vampire Savior 2, Virtua On, and The King of Fighters 97. The text notes Virtua Striker 2's impressive ranking for a sports game amidst the fighting game dominance. Finally, the 1 Point Check Game section previews upcoming or notable titles. Winter Heat is highlighted as a winter sports challenge building on its predecessor's success. Dynamite Baseball 97 is shown as a baseball simulation with enhanced camera work, and Puyo Puyo Sun is featured as a fun puzzle game, celebrating clearing chains. The SEGA Saturn community eagerly awaits its top software releases. According to user rankings, Grandia, an RPG, leads the pack at number 1, nearing completion at 96%. Sakura Wars 2 is at number 2, generating buzz despite being early in development, 9%. A Girl Who Chants Love at the Bound of This World, already 100% complete, occupies number 3. The list spans a variety of genres, including fighting games like Virtua Fighter 3 TB, and RPGs like Ajizel. Panzer Dragoon RPG /Matrix is highlighted at number 29, praised for its unique premise and philosophical themes, and currently 50% complete. Eve the Lost One, a new Saturn original in the Eve series, is anticipated for March 98. Azel, Panzer Dragoon RPG and the House of the Dead are specifically noted with screenshots and mentions of ongoing coverage/release desire. This page features the 76th volume of the SEGA Saturn Reader's Check, a weekly ranking based on votes and average scores from the Saturn community for all released software. The ranking table shows Dead or Alive claiming the top spot at number 1, holding steady for 3 weeks since its debut. Making a powerful entrance at number 2 is New Japan Pro Wrestling featuring Virtua, immediately challenging the top spot. Zwei climbs significantly to number 3 from its previous number 7 position, while Tsukyu Gurentai unfortunately falls to number 44. The commentary notes the volatility of the rankings, with many titles shifting position, promising exciting developments ahead with new releases. The page includes screenshots providing a glimpse of the action. One image shows the character select screen from Dead or Alive, featuring key fighters like Kasumi, Ryu Hayabusa, and Tina Armstrong. Another screenshot
likely from the wrestling game, depicts a dramatic moment with a female character, possibly a manager or commentator, accompanied by introspective text. This section highlights the current state of reader-favorite released games on the platform. This page highlights new SEGA Saturn game ratings from readers. All Japan Pro Wrestling featuring Virtua debuts strongly at number 2, earning a 9.5294 for its realistic wrestling and polish. Soviet Strike, a top-down shooter, scores 8.3333 for improved controls and cinematic presentation, though its difficulty is noted. My Dream Can't Wait For On Air, a simulation game, receives an 8.1, with reviewers noting limited character interaction. Desert Aqua World, a puzzle game, scores 7.3636 for its realistic feel and smooth gameplay. Graduation S, another simulation game, scores 7.3571, with readers finding it similar to other platform versions and questioning its price. Shellshock, a tank combat game, receives a 7.3, with praise for its atmosphere but criticism for its controls. This page presents a comprehensive list of SEGA Saturn games as ranked by readers in the 76th volume of the Reader Race. It continues the ranking from the previous pages, detailing positions, previous ranks, game titles, genres, and average reader scores for a vast number of titles, starting from rank 295 and going down significantly. The commentary section notes that many familiar titles are showing mixed trends in the rankings, and newer software isn't necessarily performing exceptionally well either. It specifically points out that winning Post 2 Final 97 made a large jump of 128 ranks, while others like Gomakin MUU and Prodoru Disc dropped. The small screenshots illustrate some of the games mentioned or featured in the ranking, showing scenes from what appears to be a simulation game, the golf game winning Post 2 Final 97, and the pool game Side Pocket 3. Overall, it provides a detailed look at how a wide variety of Saturn games were perceived and ranked by the reader base at the time. This page features a spotlight on a SEGA Saturn masterpiece, Sonic Jam. Written by Tetsu, this article delves into the highly anticipated compilation, which brought classic Mega Drive Sonic titles to the Saturn. The game includes perfect ports of Sonic the Hedgehog, Sonic the Hedgehog 2, Sonic the Hedgehog 3, and Sonic and Knuckles, allowing players to experience these legendary platformers with faithful accuracy. It also highlights the addition of Sonic World, a new 3D area acting as a museum showcasing the history of the Sonic series, character profiles, artwork, and even promotional videos. The article praises the collection for its excellent value, offering 4 classic games and new content in one package. The reviewer notes the adjustments made to improve accessibility while retaining the original experience, making it ideal for both newcomers and longtime fans. Reader and magazine scores are displayed, showing positive reception. The section on volume and completeness specifically commends the quality of Sonic 3 and Sonic and Knuckles. Developer comments are also included, expressing gratitude for the reception and encouraging players to enjoy the high-speed action and bonus content. A smaller section at the bottom left links back to the reader rankings, discussing a potential one-shot reversal for a candidate dubbed the Southern Pig Emperor, illustrating this with screenshots that appear unrelated to Sonic, possibly from a simulation game. This suggests the page is primarily a feature article within the larger context of the reader rankings. The next page dives deeper into the SEGA Saturn Reader Race, featuring previews of upcoming titles and reader feedback. It includes looks at the tactical RPG Ronde, the unique board game/card game hybrid Coldicept, and the impressive vertical shooter Raystorm. Reader scores are provided for each, along with brief comments noting Coldicept's surprising depth and Raystorm's solid port quality. A general review section discusses the current state of Saturn software, singling out Devil Summoners Soul Hackers as a major title generating significant buzz among players. The page also features a ranking of SEGA Saturn peripherals based on reader scores, offering insight into the most popular and highly theft-rated accessories. To encourage participation, the page details contests, where readers can predict the debut ranking of Devil Summoners, Soul Hackers, or the average score of Sakura Wars, Steam Radio Show. It also announces recent contest winners and outlines the different prize packages available for participants in the ongoing reader race. This page provides a special report on the SEGA Saturn game, All the Mysteries Are Still. The large blue E overlaid with red text forms part of the game's title. The page delves into the game's story, introducing Kyoko Kirino, a new investigator for the JCIA.
Before even starting her job, she's injured in a mysterious bombing. Her first assignment, despite her injury, is to investigate the strange death of a researcher at the Mochizuki Research Institute. The institute director is unhelpful, and Kyoko realizes the death isn't a simple crime, but is tied to the researcher's work. She learns the bombing might be linked to a series of attacks targeting a specific company and volunteers to investigate, but is told she must solve the murder first. Unbeknownst to her, this case is the start of a deep conspiracy. The page also lists key game details. It's published by Imadio, scheduled for release in March 1998, priced at 7,800 yen, classified as a multi-site adventure across 4 quadrants, and recommended for all ages. This looks like a classic mystery-adventure title, with a compelling plot hook. This page introduces Even the Lost One, the sequel to the critically acclaimed Even Burst Error. Following up on the mysteries presented in the first game, this entry promises to finally reveal the secrets that remained unsolved. The narrative continues to follow the dual perspectives of protagonists Kojiro and Marina, a signature element of the series. The game maintains the unique multi-site system, allowing players to switch between the two characters' viewpoints seamlessly. This system is crucial for piecing together clues from different angles as they investigate a complex series of events, including serial murders, promising a deep and suspenseful adventure. The page features a screenshot of the multi-site system interface, clearly showing the option to swap between Kojiro and Marina and track their progress, hinting at the intricate timeline management players will experience. The anticipation is high for how The Lost One will expand upon the established world and characters, and what the true meaning of The Lost One subtitle might be. This page delves into the characters driving the plot of Eve the Lost One. Following the introduction to the game's premise, we are introduced to the key players within the JCIA Cabinet Investigation Room, a pivotal location in this installment. The page highlights the return of Marina Hojo, one of the protagonists from the previous game, Even Burst Error. Described as a sharp investigator with impressive handling skills, her presence suggests continuity and a connection to the earlier mysteries. Her role here seems to be a senior figure, as the new protagonist's position is compared to hers. We are then introduced to Kyoko Kirino, a new protagonist in Eve the Lost One. A 22-year-old rookie investigator fresh out of university, Kyoko is depicted as having strong determination, but also prone to clumsy mistakes, particularly struggling with technology. Her physical details are provided, noting her height, weight, and measurements. The page expresses excitement about what kind of actions and successes she will achieve. A small screenshot shows Marina in a moment of uncertainty, hinting at the challenging situations the characters will face. The overall title, Complex Human Drama Intertwining, reinforces that the relationships and personal stories of these characters will be central to the game's narrative, building upon the established world and intrigue from the first game. This page continues the character introductions for Eve the Lost One, focusing on the key players within the JCIA Cabinet Investigation Room. We revisit Kyoko Kirino, with detailed character sheets showing her face from various angles and full-body designs in casual clothes, building on her introduction as the new protagonist. Next, we meet Kenju Yuichi, a 27-year-old JCIA investigator and Kyoko Sr. He's depicted as a nice guy with a hearty appetite, so much so he's nicknamed Morning Steak. Despite his seemingly relaxed nature, Kenju is a sharp and meticulous investigator known for his brave handling of crises, and is considered quite skilled within the agency. Finally, the page introduces Chief Kuno, Kyoko's superior and head of the JCIA, whose true rank might be higher than his title suggests. Chief Kuno is described as a competent leader who offers precise judgments and guidance, while also maintaining a cheerful atmosphere and cracking jokes. The page also shows his office, noted by returning character Marina as being familiar but now computerized, highlighting the continuity and evolution of the game's world. These characters look set to be crucial allies in Kyoko's investigations. This page continues the character introductions for Even the Lost One, moving beyond the main investigation team to focus on people involved in the case. We see Natsumi Suzuta, a 21-year-old companion worker noted for her modern style, but also an unexpected old-fashioned side. Next is Masao Mochizuki, the 45-year-old director of the Mochizuki Biological Research Institute and a sponsor of Altair Corporation. He's described as a mysterious figure due to the strict security and secrecy surrounding his research. Finally, we meet Yasuo Seo, a 27-year-old researcher at Mochizuki's institute. He's portrayed as having a strong sense of justice, but tragically, he is discovered deceased near the World Import Tower display area
Early in the game, the page also highlights the background of the interesting stage. We get glimpses of key locations. A very modern aquarium, likely named Genesis SeaWorld, where a character named Igo Kuniji works part-time, and a hygienic research laboratory corridor. The caption questions whether this lab is part of the Mochizuki Institute, and ponders the nature of the research being conducted there. These settings underscore the blend of public venues and secretive scientific facilities, where the game's mystery unfolds. This page continues the character introductions for Even the Lost One, focusing on more individuals involved in the case. We are introduced to Igo Yuji, a high school student working part-time at Genesis SeaWorld, known for his hacking hobby and spaced-out personality. Next is Kudo Kaiko, the manager of Altair Corporation. We also meet Kudo Reina, Kaiko's half-American, assertive high school daughter and childhood friend of Igo Yuji. Finally, there is Sakuraba Koji, Kaiko's right-hand man at Altair Corporation, described as America-influenced and unpopular with female staff due to his speech. Below the character profiles, the page showcases various background locations from the game, including European-style streets, a cafe terrace, a bar, a shopping area, and an office. The text observes that the game's setting appears to extend beyond Japan, asking where these diverse, foreign-feeling locations might be. It also specifically mentions the possibility of a bar that a character named Kojiro Amaji might like appearing in the game. This page highlights two key aspects of Even the Lost One. Firstly, it showcases the detailed background graphics and how they change dramatically between day and night, enhancing the realism and atmosphere of the game's locations, such as European streets, garden courtyards, and office interiors. This detailed rendering of the passage of time is a significant visual feature. Secondly, the page provides a substantial recap of the storyline from the previous game, Even Burst Error. It emphasizes that understanding the original mystery is crucial to solving the secrets in the new game. The summary outlines the intertwined investigations of investigator Marina Hojo and detective Kojiro Amaji, touching upon key plot points like Marina's assignment to protect Mayako Mito, Kojiro's search for a painting, a mysterious murder, and political intrigue involving the Elbedia Republic, its former intelligence department, and characters like Kuwu and Purin. The recap mentions the dramatic events culminating on a luxury liner, and the reveal of the serial killer, setting the stage for the next installment. Screenshots accompanying this section include a close-up of the assassin character Terror, with a chilling quote about their knife, and an image of a mysterious book, hinting at elements from the first game's plot. This page delves deeper into the lingering questions left unanswered at the conclusion of Even Burst Error, emphasizing that while the main narrative saw a resolution, not all mysteries were solved. These unresolved elements are presented as the focus for the sequel, Even the Lost One. The text highlights several specific points of intrigue from the first game. It discusses the significant character Suzuki Genjiru, the life insurance investigator known as Oji-san, and his cryptic line on the Tristan about a terrifying person coming soon, pondering if it referred to Terror or someone else, given his knowledge of Terror's impending death. The page also raises questions about a new drug report found by Kojiro Amaji at the Elbedia embassy, its connection to the medicine Mayako Mito was taking, and the reason it was reported as simple insulin. Was it due to pressure, or is the substance indistinguishable from insulin? Lastly, it notes a subtle secret possibly hidden in Aqua's line Masarama when she parted ways with Kojiro. The large illustration on the page features Aqua, hinting at her central role in these ongoing mysteries. The bottom text confirms the theme, stating, "Furthermore, the case continues." This page effectively builds anticipation for Even the Lost One by focusing on the remaining narrative hooks from its predecessor. This page highlights the release of the Sakura Wars Steam radio show, a Credrom game/interactive experience. It encourages readers to pick it up, especially to get the promotional item from the release campaign. The article delves into content not covered in previous reports, focusing on the characters Maria, Kuran, Kohran, and Kana in their roles as DJs. Maria's segment is set on the second-floor terrace of the Imperial Theater, discussing a suggestion to quit as Mikkeras, but deciding to stay on. Kuran's segment has her called to the warehouse, where she discusses her nervousness about being chosen as a DJ, despite her usual bright and humorous nature. Kana is shown in the training room, also expressing shyness about being chosen as MC, but ultimately deciding to go for it with encouragement. The game/disc also includes other content, such as CMS by the Imperial Combat Review Maidens, minigames like Waku Waku Wax with strategy tips, and interviews with the voice actors. The page features screenshots and character portraits from these segments. A significant point highlighted at the bottom is the confirmation that a preview of Sakura Wars 2 is included on the Steam Radio Show disc, accessible via the menu screen. This is a notable extra for fans anticipating the sequel.
The disc is listed for sale at 4,800 yen on 2 Krodroms. This page continues to explore the content of the Sakura Wars Steam Radio Show disc, focusing on the Taisho commercials introduced by the Imperial Theater Three Maidens. These aren't just simple ads. They feature fictional products and companies from the Taisho era setting of the game, like the Imperial Capital Daily News, various products from Shishi Pharmaceuticals including a mysterious disinfectant and a nutritional drink, the Hanayashiki amusement park featuring its signature steam train, and Kanzaki Heavy Industries known for its advanced machinery and Kubu spiritual armor technology. A highlight is Oshiro Confectionary's caramel box that came with a detailed 1/6 scale Kubu figure. The page also provides a little strategy guide for the Waku Waku Wax minigame included on the disc. This game challenges you to push various furniture and objects, with the key to success being understanding their different weights. The lighter items are easy to push, while heavier ones like the Paulownia chest and the basket require significantly more effort. The guide gives tips on how to handle each type of item to maximize your score. Finally, the page showcases character portraits of the main Imperial Combat Review Flower Division members and a group shot, reminding players of the beloved cast featured on the disc. This page dives deeper into the bonus content found on the Sakura Wars Steam Radio Show disc, specifically focusing on the interviews with the cast and staff from the stage show held at the Shinjuku Kosei Nenkin Kaikan. Captured backstage or during rehearsals, these interviews offer a rare glimpse into the performers and creators behind the beloved Imperial Combat Review. You get to hear from the voice actors portraying the iconic Flower Division members, including Chisa Yokoyama, Sakura, Michi Tomizawa, Sumire, Urara Takano, Maria, Kumiko Nishihara, Iris, Ai Orikasa, Ayame, Yuriko Fuchizaki, Kohran, Mayumi Tanaka, Kana, and Akio Suyama, Ichiro Ogami. They share insights into their characters, the challenges of bringing them to life on stage, and their feelings about the performance. For instance, Kumiko Nishihara amusingly notes being the tallest actor despite Iris's short stature, while Yuriko Fuchizaki discusses grappling with Kohran's Kansai dialect. Beyond the cast, the disc features interviews with key production staff. Executive producer Uji Hiroi, who is the driving force behind the Sakura Wars world. Music director and conductor Kohei Tanaka, who talks about unexpectedly taking on conducting duties. And scriptwriter/director Naoki Nagashima, who explains how he balanced maintaining the series' worldview with adding unique stage humor. These interviews provide a valuable perspective on the creative process and dedication that went into making Sakura Wars a success, offering fans a chance to see the natural expressions and hear the genuine thoughts of the people involved. This page continues the story introduction for Panzer Dragoon Saga, the epic RPG on SEGA Saturn. Featured prominently is the enigmatic girl, Azel, central to the game's narrative. The feature delves into the early stages of the game, detailing the attack by aggressive creatures on the protagonist, Edge. It covers the initial valley areas and the significant meeting with the mysterious young man named Gash. Screenshots show gameplay elements like battles and environments. A staff voice section provides insight into the game's development, including comments on the setting of the Discovery site and the role of mercenary troops like Edge's. The opening story section summarizes the beginning of Edge's journey, seeking revenge after his comrades are killed and embarking on a quest with the dragon he meets. The page also teases the next stages of the adventure. The game, known in Japan as Azel, Panzer Dragoon RPG, is confirmed to be a 4-disc RPG, scheduled for a January 29, 1998 release, supporting the multi-controller. At the time of this publication, the game's completion rate was reported at 60%. There is also mention of a bonus music CD release featuring a trial version of the game, available prior to the full game launch. Panzer Dragoon Saga's initial exploration focuses on Valley Area 1, an excavation site perfect for practicing combat against weaker enemies. Players can find item boxes in side tunnels and interact with wind nets. The page introduces key gameplay elements: save monoliths for saving progress, the leveling berserk attack system, and the importance of item boxes. Field movement commands include item checking, map viewing, dragon type changes, and settings access. The map function aids navigation across vast areas. Crucially, the page introduces Gash, a sharp-tongued yet charming character
who saves Edge and forms a temporary alliance. Gash is the first human Edge encounters, and his mysterious nature adds intrigue. Staff comments praise both the Valley setting and Gash's voice acting. This article explores key elements of Panzer Dragoon Saga. It introduces Gash, a masked man who reluctantly allies with Edge, becoming his first human companion. Gash's mysterious nature and information are vital to the quest. The first major boss, Beamos, a creature with intimidating tentacles, showcases the game's focus on large, monstrous designs. The article also previews Valley Area 2, a beautiful canyon contrasting the first area.
Despite its serene appearance, it harbors stronger creatures and hints at conflict.
Developers focused on detailed motion capture for Gash. Finally, the article teases the Garrel Desert, a dangerous wasteland where Edge and Gash journey together, with the return of classic enemies. Azel A to Z launches its Panzer Dragoon Saga deep dive by examining the Empire's history. Understanding the Empire's evolution, from its human revival ideals to its pursuit of supremacy and technology, is key to appreciating the game. The article explores how this pursuit led to conflict with dragons and ancient weapons, showcasing key characters from previous games to visually connect the lore. This installment also examines the player's dragon growth, specifically exploring how battle performance indicators like "very good" might influence the dragon's development, hinting at a unique progression system. A comment from the director encourages players to imagine the game and emphasizes the importance of enjoying the Panzer Dragoon series. This page continues the Azel A to Z feature, delving deeper into the world of Panzer Dragoon Saga by presenting the complete history of the Empire. Titled The Imperial Chronicle, the page features a timeline stretching from years before the Empire's founding up to events covered in the game, detailing the rise of the Empire, its conflicts, technological pursuits, and imperial succession. The article highlights key turning points in the Empire's history. It covers the mysterious Shirkuff incident, where an ancient ship and 2 dragons attacked the Empire, showcasing the power of the old world. It details the Empire's dangerous experiments with the Tower, an ancient structure, which ultimately led to the destruction of the imperial capital by dragons, echoing the themes from the Shirkuff event. The timeline also covers events surrounding Kramen and his actions that shake the Empire's foundations, implying his significant role in the unfolding narrative. There's also a brief mention of Akuzel's background. A comment from director Kenji Futatsugi emphasizes the importance of this historical overview, stating that understanding the Empire's past, which is linked to the events of the first 2 Panzer Dragoon games, is crucial to fully appreciate the story of Panzer Dragoon Saga. He suggests reviewing this chronicle after playing the game can offer new insights. The next installment of Azel A to Z promises a detailed look into the game's motion capture technology, showcasing the ambitious development methods used. This page unveils exciting new visuals for the upcoming SEGA Saturn title, Burning Rangers. The game is scheduled for release this winter in Japan, priced at 5,800 yen, and is confirmed to be an action game that supports the analog controller. Featured prominently is a vibrant illustration of the game's core team members, including Shao Amabani, Tillis, Chris Parton, and Big Landman. The article highlights that the opening movie, set to the theme song by Takenobu Mitsuyoshi, is now complete, promising a professional animation style that builds upon the game's aesthetic. Comments from Sonic Team's director, Naoto Oshima, reveal that they enlisted an artist with strong drawing skills for this illustration. He notes that they encourage individuality in derivative illustrations, giving the artist freedom with their touch. Further details describe the action, specifically the dramatic descent of the Burning Rangers from their ship to disaster zones, emphasizing the sense of speed and anticipation surrounding the gameplay. The article also points readers towards the lively expressions of the characters shown in the visuals. Several small screenshots at the bottom provide glimpses into the game's explosive in-game action and environments, showcasing the team in action. This page focuses on the exciting announcement that the opening movie for Burning Rangers is complete, and it is confirmed to be traditional animation rather than CG. Produced by TMS, it's noted as Sonic Team's first animation project since Sonic CD. The animation is praised for its dynamic style, appealing to Japanese tastes, and it syncs perfectly with the theme song sung by Takenobu Mitsuyoshi. The page introduces the main members of the Burning Rangers team with character profiles. We see Shao Amabane, described as the main protagonist, Tillis, another protagonist with a lively expression hiding a sad past, Lead Phoenix, Shao's rival with a cool exterior but passionate heart,
Big Landman, the veteran leader who guides the younger members, and Chris Parton, the navigator and leader who offers mature charm. Their portraits are featured prominently, alongside brief descriptions and voice actor credits. The animation style is highlighted as deliberately referencing the neo-70s, encouraging a sense of retro feel. The opening sequence is about 2 minutes long, centered on the team launching from their ship to an energy plant. Smaller screenshots at the bottom give glimpses of the in-game action, showing the team deploying from their ship and in combat. This page reveals that the story in Burning Rangers is already picking up speed, diving into new environments and challenges. Screenshots show scenes from Stage 2 onwards, featuring the Rangers operating underwater. The text speculates that a major disaster has struck a facility related to water, possibly a vast aquarium or marine research center, leading to difficult rescue operations. New gameplay elements like swimming or holding breath may be introduced, adding depth to the mission. The disaster isn't just water-based. Other shots depict intense, fiery areas, describing the situation as a fiery abyss, where quick action is crucial. This highlights the game's core premise of battling both fire and other hazards in complex environments. A section titled From Sonic Team includes commentary, noting that the game's development is currently around 50% complete. Voice recording has finished, and the team expresses great satisfaction with the voice actors' performances, particularly praising Hikaru Midorikawa, the voice actor for Shao Amabane, for his dedication despite challenges with specialized in-game terminology. The tension in the main game is building, promising an exciting experience. The overall message is anticipation for the game's winter release, encouraging players to look forward to Burning Rangers heating up the cold season. This page features Langrisser, Dramatic Edition for the SEGA Saturn, which brings together the first two classic simulation RPG titles, Langrisser I and II, onto a single CD. Described as a major upgrade based on the PlayStation version, it promises new elements exclusive to the Saturn. The article, serving as a first look, showcases screenshots highlighting improvements, such as centered character portraits during conversation events, and a faster battle tempo. Players can see glimpses of magic use, character creation where the protagonist's class and stats are influenced by questions, and the class change system. A section also reflects on the series' origins, noting the original Mega Drive versions and their challenging nature, framing this release as a return to Sega hardware for these foundational titles. The game is currently stated to be 80% complete. This page details the Langrisser Dramatic Edition, focusing on Langrisser I and Langrisser II. Langrisser sets the stage, introducing the Holy Sword Langrisser and the conflict between Baltia and Dulcis, with character profiles and screenshots of key scenes and battles. It establishes the origins of the legendary sword, featuring characters like Ledin and Chris. Langrisser II, a later chapter, features Elwyn's journey and introduces branching storylines based on player choices, offering multiple endings. It highlights the disappearance of Baltia and the legendary status of Langrisser. The game includes character profiles for figures such as Elwyn, Liana, and Leon, along with screenshots showcasing interactions and battles. The collection aims to provide the complete foundation of the Langrisser legend. The page concludes with a hint about the appearance of the demonic sword, Al-Hazard. This page features an emergency interview with character designer Satoshi Urushihara and the development staff from CareerSoft and publisher Messiah regarding Langrisser Dramatic Edition for the SEGA Saturn. Urushihara provides comments on his cover illustration and character designs. The interview delves into the development process, discussing changes made for the Saturn version compared to previous releases. A major highlight is the inclusion of an original drama CD bundled with the game, which is noted to have a serious tone and involves characters from both Langrisser I and Langrisser II. The developers, including Shinichiro Takada and Yasuharu Hida from CareerSoft, and Hiroshi Matsuzawa from Messiah, discuss the effort put into the project, including potential additional elements beyond the drama CD. Screenshots scattered throughout the page show gameplay menus and battle scenes, illustrating the visual style of the compiled titles. The discussion emphasizes the Dramatic Edition's aim to provide a complete experience, further enhancing the legend of Langrisser. This page continues the discussion with character designer Satoshi Urushihara and key development staff from CareerSoft and Messiah about Langrisser Dramatic Edition for the SEGA Saturn. The interview touches on the challenges of porting the original Langrisser to the PlayStation and highlights the significant changes made for the Saturn compilation, including adjusted systems and voice acting. The developers, Shinichiro Takada and Yasuharu Hida, reflect on their earlier work,
with Hida mentioning the difficulty of creating Langrisser 2 eyes. Urushihara adds that looking back, his immaturity is evident in his early designs, but the difficult projects are often the most memorable. They discuss how the positive reception of Langrisser 2 eyes production process informed the approach for the compilation. The page also features details about the Mesakan Network radio show, hosted by voice actress Tomoko Kawakami, known for voicing Utena in Revolutionary Girl Utena. The show covers anime and game news, promising the latest Langrisser information. Additionally, there's a contest inviting fans to submit original game ideas using Langrisser characters.
Prizes include signed illustrations by Satoshi Urushihara and other goods. The page features screenshots showing gameplay from Langrisser I and Langrisser 2, as well as character art and a photo of the development team expressing gratitude to the fans. This page focuses on the Langrisser series, promoting the Langrisser Dramatic Edition compilation to both new and returning fans. It highlights the revival of the Pashiran fan community, including a radio segment on Mesakan Network on Satamaga, hosted by Tomoko Kawakami and Gion Matsuzawa, promising updates on the series. The page delves into the lore of the Holy Sword Langrisser, tracing its connection to King Sieghart and its role within the games. It also features developer Shinichiro Takada sharing insights, including the creation of the Goddess of Light Lucerys, and branching storylines in Langrisser 2 influenced by fan requests. A Langrisser Fan Plaza encourages fan participation through postcard submissions featuring illustrations, memories, messages, and requests, including the revival of CG battles. Illustrations of key characters and staff photos are included. This page features Mobile Suit Gundam, Giran's Greed, a strategic simulation game for the SEGA Saturn that plunges players into the full scope of the One-Year War. Unlike the original anime, which centered on the White Base crew, this title puts you in command of either the Earth Federation or the Principality of Zeon, tasking you with leading your forces through the entire conflict on Earth and in space. The page showcases a multitude of iconic mobile suits and mobile armors that appear in the game, highlighting the wide variety of units players will command. It emphasizes the game's unique premise, exploring what-if scenarios and allowing players to influence key historical events and the fate of characters like Amuro, fundamentally altering the outcome of this pivotal era in the Universal Century timeline. It's a deep dive into the war, focusing on military strategy and unit deployment rather than the individual story of the White Base, offering a grand-scale simulation of the sad history of humanity's conflict. This page continues the deep dive into Mobile Suit Gundam, Giran's Greed on the SEGA Saturn, subtitled Gundam's Ambition, a comprehensive strategic simulation of the One-Year War. It puts the fate of the conflict entrusted to us, the players. The page highlights the sheer variety of mobile suits, mobile armors, and vehicles from the era that you'll command, showcasing a massive collection of iconic designs. This isn't just a retelling. The core appeal lies in simulating crucial what-if scenarios. What if the Odessa operation failed? What if Garmazabi hadn't died? The game allows you to explore these pivotal moments and potentially rewrite the history of the One-Year War, offering outcomes where even Zeon could emerge victorious. It's a strategic simulation focusing on the grand-scale military conflict rather than just the White Base narrative, providing if possibilities not explored in the TV series. Further details confirm it's a strategic simulation game from Bandai, and, especially, scheduled for a February release, with the price yet to be determined. It's a single-player experience recommended for all ages. The article also praises the visual intensity of the mobile suit battles, which are rendered using CG technology, promising a realistic depiction of combat crucial to the appeal of Gundam. The screenshots give a glimpse of these tactical engagements. This page delves deeper into Mobile Suit Gundam, Giran's Greed, focusing on the strategic challenges faced by the Earth Federation during the initial phase of the One-Year War. The game puts you in the shoes of commanders like Revel or Giran, tasked with leading your forces from a global perspective. It highlights the dire situation at the war's outset, where the Federation is technologically outmatched by Zeon's mobile suits. The starting force map clearly illustrates Zeon's widespread influence both on Earth and in space, particularly emphasizing their dominance in space, where the Federation is left with only key strongholds like Side 7 and Lunar 2. To counter the overwhelming mobile suit threat, the page discusses the necessity of concentrated fire and the implementation of the Vincent Plan. This crucial strategic initiative focuses on the rapid development of the Federation's own mobile suits and the improvement of existing warships,
such as the Magellan and Salamis classes, to carry and support these new units. The article stresses that while early Federation units may struggle against mobile suits one-on-one, massing forces and developing new technology through plans like Vinson are essential to turn the tide against Zeon's relentless assault. Success in these early strategic phases is key to rewriting the war's history.
This page dives into the core of the Earth Federation's strategy in Mobile Suit Gundam, Girin's Greed, focusing on the pivotal versus operation. Following the Vinson plan, this operation is the key to the Federation developing mobile suits superior to Zeon's and the carrier ships needed to deploy them. Executing this plan is presented as the essential step for the Federation to finally enter the age of mobile suit production. Activating the versus operation shifts the strategic focus dramatically. The Federation must heavily invest in weapon research to develop countermeasures against Zeon's mobile suits, moving beyond simply enduring assaults to actively pushing back. This is framed as the moment for the Federation's counterattack. The page highlights the crucial units born from this effort, including the core fighter, the support unit gun tank, RX-75, the mid-range gun cannon, RX-77, and the flagship prototype Gundam, RX-78, showing examples of their in-game stats. It also hints at later developments like the Gundam Alex. A Gundam column section provides historical context, explaining the versus operation status as a top-secret plan to transport the RX series units, 8 gun tanks, 4 gun cannons, 3 Gundams, from Jaburo via Side 7. This perilous journey sets the stage for the game's early events, as the white base, carrying these prototypes, is discovered by Zeon forces, leading to the iconic incident involving Chara Zunable. Gameplay screenshots show battles, the strategic map movement, and scenes aboard the white base, reinforcing the narrative and strategic elements tied to this critical operation. This page shifts focus to the Principality of Zeon in Mobile Suit Gundam, Girin's Greed. While Zeon has a head start in mobile suit development, their critical challenges are securing ground bases and vital resources on Earth. The initial strategic map visually represents this. Zeon controls space but holds no territory on Earth. The game immediately presents the Earth invasion operation as necessary. For the relatively small nation of Zeon, a prolonged war without Earth's vast underground resources is untenable. Early gameplay emphasizes this, suggesting players bypass space battles initially and descend to Earth via atmospheric entry pods to capture key locations like Odessa. A Gundam column section highlights the stark numerical disparity between Zeon and the Earth Federation at the start of the war, particularly in terms of capital ships. This massive difference is a core challenge for the player controlling Zeon, reflecting the original series context of Zeon being a smaller power relying on technological superiority. The page questions if the player can overcome this significant handicap, something the original story suggests was impossible. Screenshots show strategic maps, a battle scene featuring Zaku's, and a character group shot alongside a massive Zaku, likely emphasizing the mobile suit's power against the backdrop of Zeon's numerical disadvantage. This page continues the strategic overview for Mobile Suit Gundam, Girin's Greed, detailing the Zeon's next steps after securing a foothold on Earth. The key objective becomes capturing the strategically vital Earth Federation base on the U.S. West Coast in California. This move is presented as essential to establish a strong presence on the American continent and leverage Zeon's mobile suit advantage more effectively globally. Following the California campaign, the discussion shifts to the potential formation of a Zeon submarine fleet, made possible by capturing Federation vessels. Interestingly, the game offers the player a choice here, departing from the original story's linear progression. Given the next likely target is the Federation base in Hawaii, establishing a dedicated submarine force appears strategically sound. Screenshots showcase underwater combat featuring Zeon mobile suits, hinting at new gameplay environments. Separately, the page announces public recording events for the game in Nagoya and Yokohama. Fans are invited to participate as voice extras, contributing to crowd scenes like shouting, "Sieg Zeon!" during a Girin speech moment, which will then be used in the final game. Attendees will also have the chance to hear from developers and get an early look at the in-development game. The red banner at the bottom teases the upcoming challenges, stating, "Unseen battlefields await us." This page delves into the core gameplay mechanics of Shining Force 2I. The main theme highlighted is how characters grow stronger, not just through traditional experience points,
but specifically through a weapon proficiency system. As explained, characters gain experience with a particular weapon type simply by using it in combat. As their proficiency level increases for that weapon system, they unlock powerful, special moves. This adds a layer of depth to character development, encouraging players to master specific weapon types to gain access to devastating abilities. The screenshots show the protagonist, Shin Bios, confirming this is covering Shining Force 2 I Scenario 1. We see character stats, the status screen detailing weapon proficiency levels, like Blade LV1 for Shin Bios, and a message confirming the acquisition of both experience points and a specific special move, Heat Burner. The game's interface for managing stats, magic, and items is also visible. The report stamp indicates the game is at a 90% completion level, suggesting the preview is based on a near-final build. This emphasis on weapon mastery and special moves is a significant element that sets Shining Force 2I's apart in the strategy RPG genre. This page delves deeper into Shining Force 2I Scenario 1, the giant god of the Royal City, presenting a comprehensive look at its core gameplay mechanics beyond grand strategy. While tactics and strategy are essential, the page emphasizes that the outcome ultimately depends on the strength and performance of individual units in battle, a facet the game aims to refine. A key system highlighted is weapon proficiency, which directly influences a character's combat effectiveness. As characters use specific weapon types, their proficiency increases, unlocking powerful, special moves. These abilities are significantly stronger than standard attacks, and their frequency and effectiveness are tied to the character's proficiency level and the number of special moves learned. The page suggests this system is a refinement of the one seen in Shining the Holy Ark, offering more strategic depth in character development. Screenshots showcase dynamic battles, including the protagonist engaging various enemies, and visually impressive special move effects. There's also a description of a specific move, the Scattering Shot Heel Kick, used by the monk Khan, detailing its execution. The page confirms the game is a simulation RPG for one player, released by SEGA in Japan on December 11, 1997. This page focuses on the crucial battle mechanics in Shining Force 2 I Scenario 1, specifically the weapon compatibility system and the resulting extra damage. Weapon compatibility introduces a rock-paper-scissors dynamic between different weapon types. Swords are strong against axes, axes are strong against spears, and spears are strong against swords. When a character attacks an enemy with a weapon type that has favorable compatibility, they inflict significantly more damage. This is referred to as extra damage, and it's indicated by an exclamation mark appearing above the enemy unit's head when targeting them. The page emphasizes that mastering this system is key to victory, even against stronger opponents, as exploiting compatibility can turn the tide of battle. Conversely, using a weapon with poor compatibility will result in reduced damage. Screenshots illustrate Sinbios, a swordsman, dealing increased damage to an assassin, representing the system in action, and showing the visual indicator for extra damage. This mechanic adds a strategic layer to unit positioning and target selection, building upon the tactical foundation of the game. The next page continues the tactical breakdown for Shining Force 2 I Scenario 1, diving deeper into the application of the X damage system. It highlights how strategic choices, beyond just weapon compatibility, can maximize damage output. Screenshots illustrate a scenario where the archer unit leader, Hayward, has targets within range, a dark mage, and a birdman. The page discusses the decision-making process, emphasizing that while both are targets, exploiting specific unit weaknesses, such as bows being particularly effective against birdmen, is crucial for optimal results. An exclamation mark above the birdman indicates the potential for X damage. A prominent section titled Commander's Advice, or Advisor's Command, is featured, explaining a system where players can receive strategic hints directly during battle. This feature helps players understand the best course of action, like which enemy to target, or what strategy to employ, especially when unsure. The page reinforces that mastering these concepts, including unit-specific weaknesses, like bows versus flying units, which birdmen are, allows players to achieve significant victories even with fewer units. The page showcases artwork of a bow user and a birdman, visually linking the unit types to the tactical discussion. It's clear this section aims to educate players on how to leverage the game's mechanics for strategic advantage in combat. This page delves into a specific battle scenario in Shining Force 2 I Scenario 1, following up on the tactical discussions from the previous page. The focus here is the battle at the depot, located in the town of Railroad, where valuable goods are transported. The party arrives to find a powerful bandit group attacking a lone female monk. The scenario highlights the complex terrain of the depot, which is split into multiple areas connected by passages, requiring players to utilize the environment strategically to gain an advantage against the bandits. The primary objective is clear: defeat the enemies and rescue the female monk, prioritizing her safety. The helpful King's Advice feature, continued from the previous discussion, is again highlighted as a useful tool for players needing guidance on strategy or objectives during the battle. Furthermore, the page showcases the expanded magic system in Shining Force 2 Eyes. Powerful new spells and summons are introduced, including devastating attacks like Hellblast and notable summons such as Phoenix and Thanatos. The section also raises intriguing questions about the magic users, specifically mentioning Grace and her ability to use destructive magic despite being a priest, suggesting potential character development or class change possibilities within the game. The variety and power of these new magical abilities promise exciting strategic options in combat. This page presents the opening sequence for Shining Force 2-1, God of Destruction, offering a glimpse into the game's world and the events to come through beautiful CG visuals. We see Symbios, the protagonist of Scenario 1, looking up at a vast flock of winged creatures filling the sky, described as an ominous sign foreshadowing disaster. Images show a mysterious statue with horns and wings, a complex structure of giant gears powered by ancient technology, and a colossal robot-like being standing before a burning fortress.
This is the giant god of the title, hinting at destruction. The page states these scenes are just a part of the opening movie and highlights the setting, the Eastern Parmakia continent, a land of ruins where ancient technology sleeps and many mysteries remain. It's clear the opening sets a dramatic tone and introduces key elements like the protagonist, ominous threats, and a world steeped in forgotten power and secrets. This page features Princess Crown, the action RPG published by Atlas, highlighting its imminent release. The focus is on the protagonist, Gradriel, who embarks on a journey with the goal of becoming a queen like her late mother. The page announces the reveal of full character attack techniques. The prominent artwork displays Gradriel's mother, Elfarin, whose influence is stated to be the catalyst for Gradriel's adventure. Screenshots showcase the game's distinctive visual style, depicting combat, environment exploration, and dialogue scenes. The information panel confirms the game's genre as action RPG, and notes its scheduled release date of December 11th. Other visuals include ethereal art of a unicorn and a look at various in-game environments. This page delves deeper into Princess Crown, focusing on the distinct attack techniques available to each of the 4 playable characters. It highlights that there are currently 5 types of attacks known: standard combos, dash attacks, jump attacks, rising attacks, and special moves, meaning a total of 20 techniques are available across the cast. The page prominently features the main protagonist, Gradriel, providing details about her background. She is the 13-year-old captain of the Knight Order of Valentia Kingdom, saved and trained in swordsmanship by Sir Quain. Although young and not tall, her large sword gives her good reach. Gradriel can also use magic taught by the court mage, Gesnai, which is activated by using a magic ring item. Screenshots showcase Gradriel executing her various moves, including the Albalesto Arrow, dash, Counter Rim, rising, and Valkyrie's Saber, jump. Her devastating, Final Excalibur special move is also pictured. The page also touches upon the possibility of tag team attacks, suggesting player characters might cooperate in combat. Additionally, an event check section provides a glimpse into Gradriel's life before her adventure. As the Queen of Valentia, her position is important, and traveling alone is normally forbidden. Images show her interacting with her older sisters, Ariel and Sindril, within the castle walls on the night before she secretly leaves. Another section shows her sparring with Sir Quain, emphasizing that her sword techniques were taught by him. This page introduces Edward and Proserpina, 2 playable characters in Princess Crown. Edward, the Dragon Slayer, wields a large sword and seeks to defeat his demonic father, Golgotha. His self-taught, wild sword style contrasts Gradriel's. His arsenal includes the rising attack Assassin Spike, the jump attack Splits Shot, the dash attack Slide Disposer, and the special attack for Perry Knight's Exterminator. An event highlights his non-hostile interaction with the dragon. Proserpina, a young witch, is the game's sole magic user, Though physically weaker, she compensates with powerful magic inherited from a great witch. Her moves include the jump attack Comet Shower, the rising attack Harplex Wind, the dash attack Tone-Up Bloom/Lunatic Wind, and the special attack Rose Wind. An event shows her mischievous side, enjoying scaring children in the forest. The next page dives into Portgas Crisford, another intriguing character in Princess Crown. Despite being one-eyed and one-legged, he showcases spectacular swordsmanship as the Demon of the Sea. He uses a thin sword as his main weapon, utilizing a fencing-like style. His attacks include the jump attack, Troublance Grow, a downward sword strike, the dash attack, Layer Stride, a forward lunge, the rising attack, Eagle Leg, an upward kick, and the combo attack, Condor Piercing, a rapid series of stabs. His special attack is the Lightning Crossover, a powerful cross-shaped lightning slash. The page notes his unique posture is likely due to having to move on one leg. His event scenes focus on his life as a pirate, showing him interacting with his crew and challenging rivals. His adventure searching for treasure on sea routes naturally highlights his relationships with other pirates. The page also features other distinct events. There's the Troco Race, involving dwarfs, which looks like a fun minigame possibly involving minecarts, though details are scarce. The graphics are noted as beautiful. We also see a scene depicting a demonic invasion, where Valencia Castle is under attack, putting Princess Gradriel in danger. Finally, a terrifying monster, the Basilisk, appears, capable of turning opponents to stone, leaving us to wonder who will face this threat. This page presents a development update for The Legend of Heroes IV, a Tear of Vermilion, also known as the White Witch, which is being ported to the Sega Saturn. The report highlights the game's progress, noting that while not yet ready to play, the current build shows a high level of completion, especially compared to previous previews. Screenshots showcase the isometric gameplay view, including exploring towns and engaging in battles. The battle system appears quite polished, featuring character portraits and standard RPG combat mechanics. The article also touches upon the game's scenario, which was highly regarded in the PC version, and how Hudson is adapting it. Key details provided include the publisher, Hudson, a planned release in late February 1998, the price, 6,800 yen, and confirmation that it's a 2-disc RPG recommended for all ages. A special report box proudly indicates the game's development is 70% complete. The focus is clearly on reassuring players about the Saturn version's quality and progress. The next page delves deeper into The Legend of Heroes IV, a Tear of Vermilion for the Sega Saturn, detailing key aspects of the port's presentation and gameplay. A major enhancement highlighted is the addition of character portraits for important individuals during dialogue sequences. These portraits are expressive, helping players better understand the character's emotions, like the differing looks shown for the protagonist Jurio. Travel across the world of Tiriswheel is primarily undertaken on foot, emphasizing the feeling of a long pilgrimage. While the Saturn version introduces a simplified map view to aid navigation, the game still requires players to walk extensively, exploring the landscape and encountering the diverse environments firsthand. The journey is populated with a variety of unique and memorable supporting characters encountered throughout the land, each with their own personality and way of life, adding richness to the world. To further enhance the highly regarded scenario from the original PC version, Hudson has implemented various event types and narrative situations to draw players deeper into the emotional core of the story. These methods, combined with the new character visuals, aim to create a more immersive experience for players on the Sega Saturn. The article hints that more details on these techniques will be explained on the following page. The next page dives into specific presentation techniques used in Legend of Heroes IV, a Tear of Vermilion on the Sega Saturn. It discusses game events, explaining them as the traditional RPG method of conveying story moments through character movement and dialogue. The article notes that the game employs the orthodox quarter-view perspective for these scenes, highlighting Hudson's skilled use of this standard technique. The major focus, however, is on the introduction of voice events. The magazine strongly emphasizes the impact of voice acting. It explains that while text dialogue provides information, the voice performances add crucial emotional depth and nuance that significantly enhances the player's understanding and connection to the characters. This hearing aspect, combined with the visual enhancements previously mentioned, helps make the characters feel more real and allows players to become more emotionally invested in the narrative of Legend of Heroes IV. A Tear of Vermilion,
elevating the scenario beyond the original version. This page continues the discussion on presentation in Legend of Heroes IV, a tier of Vermilion, focusing on movie events and the battle event system. It explains that while traditional map-based character movements are used for basic game events, the game also features high-quality anime cutscenes called movie events. These provide a much more dynamic and visually impactful way to portray key story moments, enhancing the experience significantly. The reviewer notes the excellent quality of the anime, making it a joy to watch. The page then shifts to the battle event system, detailing how combat is handled. Unlike many RPGs that switch to a separate battle screen, Legend of Heroes IV integrates battles directly onto the exploration map. This creates a seamless flow between exploration and combat, tightly linking battles to the story progression. The Saturn version is highlighted for significantly improving the battle system compared to the PC Engine version, making it less stressful and more enjoyable. This allows players to stay immersed in the narrative without the friction of screen transitions or frustrating combat mechanics, emphasizing the strategic enjoyment of the encounters themselves. The page features screenshots showing both dynamic anime cutscenes and the map-based battle system in action, illustrating the points made.
This page features a special report on the upcoming SEGA Touring Car Championship for the Saturn. It highlights that the game is nearing release on November 27th, priced at 5,800 yen, and will support 2-player races and steering wheel controllers. The main focus is on an original course exclusive to the Saturn version, the Boomtown Circuit. This course is described not as part of the main Global Net event mode, but as a high-quality bonus track hidden within the Saturn side of the game. The course is 2.771 kilometers long and is a high-speed technical track with distinct sections. The first half features an urban cityscape, while the latter half transitions to a forest park setting. The article praises the course layout, comparing it to advanced courses, and emphasizes the need for precise control despite the high speeds. Screenshots show intense high-speed battles, highlighting various cars on different parts of the track, complete with the game's U, showing lap times, position, speed, and time remaining. The game is noted to have many overtaking points, making battles quite heated. The reviewer suggests using the boost feature for enjoyable 2-player matches. The visuals include action shots from the race and a map detailing the layout of the Boomtown Circuit. This page delves deeper into the Boomtown Circuit from SEGA Touring Car Championship, offering a detailed corner-by-corner breakdown of the course. Screenshots illustrate each section, from the relatively short home straight and tight first corner, through a series of connecting corners leading to a short straight, then transitioning into a high-speed section, and later, a challenging curve. The scenery shifts from a European-style cityscape in the first half to a forest park setting in the latter half, culminating in tight final corners before returning to the home straight for the next lap. The page also features an interview with Yoshiyuki Kubo, a sound creator at Sega AM Division, discussing the game's audio. Kubo, who has a background in piano, synthesizers, and trance music, explains that while he initially preferred trance and techno, the game's racing context led him to focus on creating music that enhances the racing feel. He mentions remixing some arcade tracks for the Saturn version, and notes that the sound is different from the arcade game. He is also a DJ, and finds overlap between gaming and club culture, noting people wearing Virtual-On shirts at clubs. Kubo expresses a desire to create work that becomes a source of trends, whether in music or gaming. This page previews Let's Make a Professional Baseball Team, the third title in the Tsukuru series. Announcing its release has been postponed until February 1998. The page features vibrant cartoon-style artwork centered around a large-headed character swinging a baseball bat, set against a stadium backdrop. It highlights the game as a sports training simulation and confirms it is officially licensed by Nippon Professional Baseball, featuring all 12 professional teams such as the Giants, Tigers, and Carp. The game is also supervised by baseball star Hideo Nomo. Screenshots give a glimpse of the in-game visuals. Features mentioned include password-based competitive matches and a recommendation for all ages. Despite the delay from its initial planned release, the article emphasizes its focus on delivering in-depth coverage of this highly anticipated title. Starting Let's Make a Professional Baseball Team involves these initial steps. From the main menu, select Game Start. You can then register your owner name. Next, choose a team from the Central or Pacific Leagues, or create an original team. Finally, select your team's hometown from over 700 Japanese locations. The game offers extensive customization with player creation options and the ability to personalize team names and logos. Data is provided on each city, allowing for strategic decision-making. This page delves into the next crucial steps after setting up your team in Let's Make a Professional Baseball Team. First, you'll select your team's secretary. The game offers over 30 candidates, categorized into 4 distinct types: normal, fan, lady, and big sister. 4 are randomly presented and you choose one. Each type has a different personality, affecting the messages and interactions you'll have. The secretaries aren't static. They move around the office and display various actions, adding life to the game. Examples from each type are showcased, highlighting their profiles and looks. Following the secretary selection, your first major task is deciding on the team's training camp location. This is a critical decision, as the cost and location significantly impact the training's effectiveness and the specific training menus available. While expensive options like Hawaii offer unique training like the Hawaiian dance, you can also choose cost-free home grounds or locations like Okinawa, Australia, or the costly Arizona. You'll need to weigh your budget against the desired training effects when making your choice. This page dives into the heart of the action for your first year in Let's Make a Professional Baseball Team. It presents the initial rosters for the Central League teams, giving you a concrete look at the players and staff you'll be competing against or trading for. The game uses data based on the 1997 season for these initial lineups, a detail noted on the page. You'll find detailed lists for each Central League club: the Yakult Swallows, Yokohama Bay Stars, Hiroshima Toyo Carp, Yomiuri Giants, Hanshin Tigers, and Chunichi Dragons. For each team, the page clearly lays out the manager, pitching coach, and fielding coach, followed by extensive lists of pitchers and fielders. This comprehensive data is essential for understanding the league landscape right from the start. It's fascinating to see which real-life baseball figures populate the game's initial world, directly linking the simulation to the contemporary baseball scene of the late 90s. Knowing these initial rosters is key to planning your strategy, whether it's building through the draft, targeting specific trades, or identifying key opponents. This page features the upcoming trap adventure game, Dukoku Soshite. The article provides a special report detailing its development status at 45% complete, targeting a February 1998 release. It's classified as an 18+ recommended title for single players. The page highlights the game's direct search reaction (DSR) system, explaining that character and object interactions yield realistic responses. It shows examples like finding items by searching or getting reactions by touching characters or traps. This seems to be a core mechanic influencing how you progress. 2 scenarios are depicted, focusing on a character named Chisa. The first shows her caught in a trap, injured. The second illustrates how you might use an item found by searching the environment, like a driver, screwdriver, to help free her. This demonstrates the puzzle-solving nature of the game, where careful searching and item usage are crucial for survival and helping others. The article emphasizes the importance of searching the abandoned building thoroughly to find key items needed to overcome obstacles and save characters. The artwork and screenshots show the game's distinct anime art style and dark atmosphere. Dukoku Soshite is a survival horror game emphasizing emotional depth, conveyed through the 4 people's expressions convey 4 hearts concept. Players will experience anxiety, loneliness, fear, and sadness within an abandoned building, with occasional glimpses of hope. The direct search reaction (DSR) system allows for interactive exploration, where clicking on objects triggers reactions, leading to item discovery, character encounters, and narrative branches. Character interactions significantly impact the story. Saving Chisa through correct actions fosters trust and relief, while failure leads to negative consequences and branching paths. The game's visuals highlight these dynamics, showcasing characters and their emotional states, promising a tense atmosphere and a focus on character-driven storytelling. This page showcases the first public look at the SEGA Saturn package illustration for Atelier Marie, the Alchemist of Solberg. The game is known for its innovative gameplay style, but this report highlights the suspicious minigames as a driving force behind the experience. These seemingly simple minigames are surprisingly well matched to Marie's world and feature the cute chibi version of Marie actively participating. The report explains that minigames trigger when you acquire or craft specific items, or sometimes just by visiting certain places. Screenshots show examples like the alchemy creation process and a minigame involving catching mice,
noting that failing these minigames means your effort was wasted. The game promises a unique blend of alchemy, adventure, and engaging minigame challenges. Details at the bottom mention the game's release date as February 11th, the price, and describe it as a new sensation RPG suitable for all ages. The announcement emphasizes that production is nearing completion, just a month before release. This page dives deeper into the expanded content for the SEGA Saturn version of Atelier Marie, The Alchemist of Salzburg, particularly highlighting the numerous minigames added. Headlining the additions is the heart-pounding treasure hunt game, a thoughtful puzzle minigame where players navigate a grid-based dungeon, manipulating obstacles and avoiding enemies to collect treasure. This is noted as potentially the most strategic of the bunch. Beyond the main event, several other minigames are showcased, demonstrating a variety of gameplay styles from action platforming like the Aim for the Apple game to word assembly in Gather, Plate of Time's Miracles Magic, chase mechanics in the Catch Mouse game, search puzzles in Search Gold Salmon game, and even a boss battle in the Puni Hammer operation. The content emphasizes that mastering these minigames is essential for completing the game's item encyclopedia, tying these seemingly simple diversions directly into the main progression. Adding further depth to the Saturn release, the page reveals enhanced events featuring the character Klaus. Players can expect more interactions with this intriguing character, whose personality, described here as somewhat annoying or mean-spirited but entertainingly so, is brought to life through new scenes and the excellent performance of his voice actor. The character art accompanying this section gives a good look at his distinct design. The next page features the game Magical Girl Pretty Sammy, Heart no Kimochi for the SEGA Saturn. The headline proclaims this release is a luxurious double feature, promising significant content for fans. It elaborates that similar to the original anime, the game offers a lighthearted tone and multiple branching scenarios, improving upon the previous installment. This version includes 2 completely original scenarios. Screenshots showcase key moments, including characters reacting in shock, suggesting Sammy's true identity might be revealed. Everyone found out! Another scenario focuses on a mysterious new weapon codenamed Kira Rakuda. There's also a hint of a Valentine's Day-themed plotline with Burn! Flame chocolate 3 days left until Valentine's! A prologue section teases the scheme of an evil organization. The game is described as an adventure title developed by NEC Interchannel and was scheduled for release in January 1998. Magical Girl Pretty Sammy, Heart no Kimochi continues with the Kira Rakuda scenario. Sammy, Sasami, and Masaki visit a theme park, but Masaki gets separated and transforms into the villainous Pixie Misa. A love monster, Kigurumiko, a Sega girl, attacks, and Pretty Sammy fights. She defeats Kigurumiko, but 2 bystanders are injured in the process, including Ryo Oba. A pink tulip pendant is found. The page shows various park scenes, Masaki getting her fortune read, and the fight. The game introduces a new clock display feature. This includes an optional clock and an alarm with Sasami's voice, reminding players of the time at intervals, a nod to the feel of a TV anime. This page continues with the Kira Rakuda scenario from Magical Girl Pretty Sammy, Heart no Kimochi, introducing the main villains, the Psychic Trio. 2 of these espers, possessing precognition and telekinesis, are sent to Japan to retrieve a portable device, which manifests as the pendant Sammy found. They infiltrate Sasami's school to get it back. Meanwhile, the villainous Pixie Misa, still furious from her previous defeat, decides to piggyback on their mission to get her revenge on Pretty Sammy, using her own precognitive abilities to predict the outcome. The page also shows scenes related to Sasami finding the pendant and deciding to hold on to it, as well as Misa's connection to it. Character scenes include Sasami using a pseudonym, interactions with Misa and other classmates, and Misa plotting Sammy's downfall. A significant part of the page highlights rare scenes, showcasing the game's unique and often strange event graphics and humorous story moments. This includes bizarre dream sequences featuring unusual enemies like a Sega girl, love monster, and unexpected allies, alongside Sasami's amusing fantasies about Misa joining her at the theme park. This page continues the look at the Kira Rakuda scenario in Magical Girl Pretty Sammy, Heart no Kimochi. The Psychic Trio has gathered their 3rd member and confronts Sammy. Pixie Misa, joining forces with the trio out of spite for Sammy, predicts Sammy's defeat and is ready to strike. However, Screenshots also show Misa seemingly teaming up with Sammy, suggesting a brief, half-hearted alliance against the threat, leaving the outcome uncertain. The page also introduces another Sammy, a mode or scenario exploring the characters' everyday lives without their magical girl transformations. A featured event is a Valentine's Day scenario, showing the girls discussing making and giving chocolate, with Sasami realizing the occasion is approaching. Finally, there's an announcement about a bonus video clip featuring the voice actress for Sammy, singing an image song from the previous game's limited edition, which will be included with a new movie related to the series. This is presented as a welcome extra for fans.
This page features a special section titled Falling in Love with Characters, exploring popular game and anime characters through different categories. It begins by introducing the selectors responsible for choosing the featured characters. The first major category is the Perfect Orthodox Heroine Division, celebrating classic and beloved female leads. Characters highlighted include Maya Kitajima from Glass Mask, Oscar from The Rose of Versailles, Rihanna from Lunar, Silver Star Story, Sakura Shinguji from Sakura Wars, Tsukushi Makino from Boys Over Flowers, Umi Ryuzaki from Magic Knight Rayearth, Fujisawa Shiori from Tokimeki Memorial, Sayla Mass from Mobile Suit Gundam, and Yuki Hime from Doron and Makun. Maya Kitajima received the grand prize, while Oscar and Rihanna earned Excellence Awards, with images and brief descriptions for each. Next is the Dizzy, Nosebleed, Sexy Nice Body Division, focusing on characters known for their alluring appeal. This section features Fujiko Mine from Lupin II-I, Chun-Li from Street Fighter II, Rui Kisugi from Cat's Eye, Dominique from Cobra, Cutie Honey from Cutie Honey, and Doranjo from Yatterman. Fujiko Mine was awarded the grand prize in this category. Finally, the page includes a segment titled In My Case, where celebrity Jun Miura discusses his personal fascination with a peculiar character item known as the Mystery Two-Hole Oyaji, showing photos of collections of these items and explaining his interest. This character popularity contest celebrates anime and game heroines across various archetypes. In the Strong-Willed Queen division, Reiko Shiratori and Asuka Langley Soryu win grand prizes, while Reiko Mikami, Jessica, Sumire Kanzaki, Kami, and the Dirty Pair also receive accolades. The adorable Loli division crowns Momo from Magical Princess Minky Momo, with Ai Minami, Miko Kamiyama, Clarice, Yuno, Mami, and Emi also recognized. The Unique Atmosphere Denpa-K division awards grand prizes to Yukari Koshiki and Nakoruru. Excellence awards are given to Misa Kuroi and Saeko Katagiri, with Ruri Hoshino also featured. This page continues the character popularity contest, focusing on two more charming archetypes. First, we have the Gentle Girl division, celebrating heroines known for their elegant and kind nature. The grand prize winner is Belle Dandy from Oh My Goddess, a perfect fit for her serene and loving character. Other notable gentle ladies featured include Sakurako Sugisaki and Minori Kato from Classmates 2, Kasumi Fuji and Koran Lee from Sakura Wars. Koran appears again later in another division. Wakana Ayasaki from Sentimental Graffiti, Shizuka Nakamoto from Graduation Crossworld, and Noish and Eldon from Eberouge. Next we explore the Clumsy division, highlighting lovable protagonists prone to comical mishaps. The grand prize goes to the unforgettable Naga the Serpent from Slayers, known for her flashy attacks and equally flashy failures. Excellence is also awarded to Dokin-chan from the classic Anpan Panman series. Other featured characters include Marlone from Atelier Marie, the Alchemist of Salberg, Hitomi Kisugi from Cat's Eye, and Nicole Neal from Guardian Heroes. Finally, the page includes commentary from critic Yui Nagase, discussing why Japanese anime characters have found global acceptance. He touches upon the unique expressive styles developed in anime, suggesting they were born from the production constraints faced by the industry historically. This text categorizes popular female characters into three archetypes. The Energetic and Lively division highlights characters like Sakura Kasugano, Grand Prize, and Swati. They embody vibrant energy and bring happiness through their exuberance. The Motherly type division features characters who offer comfort, with Maytel from Galaxy Express 999 winning the grand prize. This section showcases characters like Rei Ayanami, representing a blend of passionate and maternal love,
The Always Fighting But That's Love, the Noisy Woman division, focuses on characters like Yuko Asahina, Grand Prize, and Lum. This archetype embraces the romance trope, where initial conflict evolves into affection and love.
This page delves into which characters readers might fall in love with, continuing the theme of character archetypes. It is split into two categories. The top section covers the Caring Woman division, focusing on characters who are helpful and nurturing. Saki Nijino from the SEGA Saturn version of Tokimeki Memorial takes the grand prize, praised for her dedicated support, including making bentos. Other featured characters include Minami Asakura from Touch, Chiharu Sakuma, and Yui Narusawa from Dukyu Seif, Nausicaa from Nausicaa of the Valley of the Wind, and Saki Asamiya from Sukeban Deka. The text notes that while having a caring partner is convenient, the long-term happiness varies case by case. The bottom section explores the unfortunate woman division, highlighting why men are often drawn to characters facing tragic circumstances. The grand prize goes to a character from Kyonyu Hunter. Other featured characters include Yuki from Byako no Shi, Sayuri Yukishiro from Otoko no Ou, Nami Tsuchiya from Nami Returns, Maya Kitajima from Glass Mask, Hinao Higashiyama from Ken Bunny Premiere 2, Yuria from Fist of the North Star, a tragic heroine who sacrifices herself, Maruko from Chibi Maruko-chan, Kichi Kitchen from Space Runaway Ideon who meets a tragic end, Jun Honu from Great Mazinger, Miki Makimura from Devilman who is killed, and Ai Saotome from Ai to Makoto, whose love leads to Makoto's death. This section focuses on the appeal of characters who endure misfortune. This article explores character archetypes, starting with the approachably atmospheric, yet also good, aloof type division, which awards Queen Emeraldas from Leiji Matsumoto's universe the grand prize, alongside Miki Makimura from Devilman and other notable figures. The piece then shifts to the, hey, go buy me some booze, the dissolute type division, with Rieko Saibara winning the grand prize for her depiction from her early career, and Torajiya from Kuro no Monmon-gumi also featured. Finally, it includes a personal reflection by artist Takashi Murakami, who discusses his journey as an otaku-turned-artist, integrating anime-inspired characters like Dobekun, Hiropon, and Koko-chan into his work, bridging the gap between high art and subcultures. This page continues the feature on popular character archetypes, starting with the Elite Few Otaku division, featuring Miyuki Kobayakawa from You're Under Arrest, a dedicated mini-patrol officer and mech enthusiast, and Jaiko from Doraemon, Giant's younger sister known for her aspiring manga artist endeavors. The next section is the Simply Earnestly Guts division, where the grand prize is awarded to Kozue Ayuhara from Attack No. 1, recognized for her unwavering perseverance despite hardships. Following that is the Little Devil division, highlighting characters who are wonderfully troublesome. The grand prize goes to Hibari Ozora from Stop! Hibari-kun. This section also includes Linda from the Sega Saturn RPG Linda Cube, a heroine escaping a world facing destruction, Miyuki Wakamatsu from the series Miyuki, Mihiro from Henshu OU, Ranma from Ranma 1/2, specifically noting the gender-bending aspect when hit by water, Natsuko from Natsuko no Sake who is determined to create legendary sake, and Laura from D's Diner and Enemy Zero, described as a virtual idol from late-night TV. Finally, the page lists a couple of recommended shops where fans can encounter characters through merchandise and media, such as the Mandarake store in Nakano, a renowned shop for used manga and anime, and the Manga Land Manga Cafe in Shinjuku. This page features Katsusato's visit to Santrio Puroland, the grand headquarters of Hello Kitty, to understand the widespread obsession with the character among women across Japan. He discovers a dreamland that is enjoyable for adults as well as children, filled with an overwhelming variety of Hello Kitty merchandise. Sato highlights attractions relevant to a game magazine audience, including Monster Planet Godzilla, a 3D film with moving seats, and Goals Legend, a fantasy story featuring large animatronics like the monster Gaira. While many shows focus on Sanrio characters and are aimed at girls, Sato found them surprisingly enjoyable, and even comments on the performers. He concludes that Sanrio Puroland successfully caters to all ages. The page also provides visitor information, such as access, operating hours, and different ticket prices based on age and type. This page features a special project centered around character goods, titled Sharagrands Presents Love Squared. It highlights a massive giveaway of character merchandise, described as a lethal weapon for collectors. The page is broken down by the stores or manufacturers providing the items. Comic Tashera offers goods, including Evangelion trading cards and figures such as Evangelion Unit 00, Unit 01, Unit 02, and a large pen plush. Train Soft presents painted soft vinyl figures of Rei Ayanami and Evangelion mass-produced models. They also have Evangelion trading card SP sets. Banpresto contributes Super King figures from various series, including Ki the Metal Idol's Sakura Kuriagawa and Akane Aida, and Tokimeki Memorial's Shiori Fujisaki and Saki Nijino. Kaspa Gallery showcases trading card binders, Slime Morimori Dragon Quest, and Langrisser trading card boxes. Fucharbe offers a large collection of sentimental graffiti figures from Crane Games. Broccoli provides character t-shirts featuring Mobile Suit Gundam, Tokimeki Memorial, and Devilman, alongside clear file sets for graduation and a clear file. The bottom section details how to apply for the presents. Readers need to cut out the application ticket from the bottom left, attach it to a postcard, write their details and the number of the desired item, and mail it to the SEGA Saturn Magazine editorial department. The deadline for applications is specified as November 28th. This page is the Reader's Contribution Corner, titled Let's Park, where readers share their thoughts, experiences, and drawings with the magazine. The submissions cover a diverse range of topics, from personal anecdotes about turning 20 or bizarre health experiences, to comments directly related to the Sega Saturn. Readers mention the Saturn console itself, such as the pain of hitting their little finger on its corner or humorously using the Saturn's cool pad peripheral. The classic Game Nights into Dreams is also a topic, with one reader submitting a drawing of a grotesque character related to the game, prompting another reader to question if it's a bug. Another reader shares a vivid description of feeling like a Resident Evil zombie after a failed survival game. The page includes various drawings submitted by readers, ranging from a simple turtle illustration to a multi-panel comic strip that appears to be related to a mech special feature mentioned by the editors. Overall, it's a lively mix of humor, personal stories, and gaming commentary from the Saturn community. This page is the Sega Saturn User Corner, a place for readers to share their thoughts, art, and experiences. It features a variety of submissions, including manga, illustrations, and written feedback covering games, industry trends, and personal stories. Readers discuss game design, like the character styles in Gungrave, and the RPGS on the Saturn. There's commentary on the market, noting the difference in software sales between Saturn and PlayStation, and speculating on the reasons, such as the Saturn's core user base buying from specialty stores. One reader proposes a Best Antagonist award for the magazine's annual Grand Prix, emphasizing the importance of villains in enhancing heroes and stories. A significant portion is dedicated to Snatcher, with a reader praising its writing, gag humor, and direction, despite finding its system less complex than Policenauts. They strongly recommend replaying Snatcher multiple times to uncover hidden details, dialogue nuances, character development, and sub-stories, citing examples like Neo's snack choices and Jamie's personal life. Other contributions include a manga segment featuring Street Fighter Alpha characters, and a section titled Heart-Pounding Dating Sim, where readers share humorous anecdotes related to playing dating simulation games, including getting nosebleeds from excitement. There are also various random thoughts submitted, from questions about barbershop etiquette to musings on zombie apocalypses, reflecting the diverse interests of the Saturn community. This page highlights reader contributions across several sections. Club Empty features reader experiences, including novel progress and game frustrations with Ask Me No Ichigeki. Black Soup Screamers showcases illustrations, from a simple Sonic drawing to unsettling fan art. Gamer's Wisdom offers practical tips, including advice on improving cold circulation and staying awake. The magazine encourages submissions for various sections like Letters Park, Black Soup Screamers, and Gamer's Wisdom, emphasizing the value of reader input. Finally, Submission King Current Points recognizes active contributors, with points and features and illustration praised for its detail. This page presents the Park Gallery, showcasing reader illustrations and comments. Featured submissions include art related to games like Neon Genesis, Evangelion, Even Burst Error, and Lanos 2. The contributors share their thoughts on the characters and gameplay, from preferring female protagonists in adventure games to comments on character design and game mechanics. One illustration is highlighted as this week's number 1, accompanied by a comment reflecting on game experience and personal preferences. The next submission theme is announced as Mecha. The information section provides submission guidelines, emphasizing the format,
postcard, black ink, and mentioning that color illustrations are not currently accepted. There is also a correction regarding a previously listed game title, noting that Next King, The Empire of Love, was incorrectly titled, and the correct name is Next King, The Empire of Love of 1,000 Years. Finally, there's a space encouraging postcard submissions to the magazine's editorial department. This page features an advertisement for the first MOOC magazine book, released by SEGA Saturn Magazine, dedicated to the game Cyberbots. Full Metal Madness for the SEGA Saturn, titled The Ultimate Strategy MOOC. It promises comprehensive coverage for both player versus player and CPU battles, packed with detailed data and strategy. Created by a professional writer specializing in 2D fighting games, the guide reportedly took over 3 months to produce and covers everything from basic controls to advanced, impressive combos. The page showcases striking illustrations of the variable armors, the game's combat mechs, including the imposing black mech resembling BB Hood, the sleek Reptos, and the sturdy, tracked Warlock. It emphasizes that the MOOC is a must-see for fans, loaded with newly drawn illustrations and previously unseen materials from Capcom staff. Published by the SEGA Saturn Magazine editorial department, this, a 5-sized guide, contains 160 pages and is priced at 1,500 yen. It is currently on sale through bookstores, mail order, and online. This publication aligns well with the previous page's announcement of Mecha as the next theme for reader submissions, catering directly to fans of robot combat games like Cyberbots. SEGA is releasing new merchandise and information channels in November. The popular Sakura Wars series gets new keychain figures featuring characters in battle uniforms. Other character goods include items from Tama and Friends, Barbapapa, Garfield, Kyoro-chan, and Let's Chat, many with festive themes. For the latest news, SEGA highlights its direct channels. The Joy telephone service provides weekly updates, including details on Digital Circus and SEGA Touring Car Championship. The SEGA Fax Club offers information on prizes and arcade titles. Local retailers also offer SEGA information. The SEGA Video Magazine and Flash SEGA Saturn Volume 22, with playable demos of games like Panzer Dragoon Saga and Sonic R, are available. SEGA's website is also a source of information, including the block-breaking game Woody Pop. This page focuses on getting ready for year-end parties with SEGA Karaoke, or SEGA Kara. It highlights the newest song additions for November, perfect for practicing your singing. The article also features a special list of game songs available on SEGA Kara, so you can belt out tunes from your favorite SEGA titles like Sakura Wars, Sonic the Hedgehog, Nights into Dreams, and Virtua Fighter. Commentary from 3 individuals is included. Take-chan talks about the release of the latest magazine issue and his participation in the Digital Circus event in Nagoya, specifically mentioning a talk show he'll be part of. Destroyer de Hirano also discusses the upcoming Nagoya Digital Circus, reflecting on the past year and pointing out key attractions at the event, like trying new software. Honey Hanaya muses on the current popularity of sports games from SEGA, contrasting the high-tech nature of his job with his more analog hobbies like collecting beetles. Finally, the magazine is asking readers to send in postcards with their opinions, questions, or illustrations about the SEGA Saturn for a chance to be featured and receive gifts. This page features the 10th episode of the SEGA Saturn Magazine novelization of the vertical shoot-'em-up game Tsukyu Gurentai, titled The Scheming Man and the Irritated People. The story is described as entering its middle stage, as the characters' intentions intertwine. Within the novel's universe, Tsukyu Gurentai is the private defense unit JDF, based on the planet Jinsei. They undertake dangerous missions such as satellite destruction and conflict suppression, acting in place of official defense forces. This science fiction drama centers around the 3 pilots belonging to the unit, Parrot, Takao Yoshida, and Rika Kunimura, as well as the people surrounding them. A recap of the previous events explains that an attack on the Jinsei headquarters by the Black Police was repelled thanks to Tsukyu Gurentai. A criminal statement was issued by the Small and Medium Business Liberation Front. Rika Kunimura returned, revealing the truth about something called Yumi Hachiman, and that witnesses were being monitored. Takao Yoshida requested an investigation into Yumi Hachiman. Although the head of the Miyama company was captured by a terrorist group, they were successfully rescued. However, the terrorist group's trump card, Donryu, was destroyed by Yumi Hachiman. Mikazuki began a pursuit but failed to catch it. Subsequently, Miyama decided to destroy S.O.Q. Series number 27, which is hinted to be Yumi Hachiman. The novel is based on an original concept by Reiji Taizing and written by Yuichi Ishida. This page continues the novelization of Tsukyu Gurentai, titled The Scheming Man and the Irritated People. The story delves further into the unfolding events involving the JDF unit. The scenes depict President Miyama, exhausted, giving instructions to his secretary, Shinobu, regarding a sensitive matter and a destruction order. Later, Mikazuki enters the Defense Unit 2 office, where Takemi is relaxing. Takemi comments on expecting a day off before Mikazuki reveals something seemingly sinister. Takemi then shows Mikazuki a list of emails related to the destroyed entity, Don Triyu. Finally, Mikazuki is startled to hear an angry voice, surprisingly belonging to Rika Kunimura, who is described as usually calm but now highly agitated, potentially due to an interaction with Yashida. Below the story segments are profiles for key characters in the novel. These include Yashida Kaoru, the 24-year-old JDF captain known for his piloting skill and composure; Takemi Ryota, a 19-year-old rookie JDF member with excellent system manipulation skills; Kunimura Rika, a skilled pilot involved in conflicts and surveillance related to Yumi Hachiman; and Sanju Shinobu, the 20-year-old, cybernetically enhanced secretary serving the JDF presidents. These profiles provide brief backgrounds and traits for the main players in the ongoing narrative. This page continues the SEGA Saturn Magazine novelization of the events surrounding Tsukyu Gurentai, titled The Scheming Man and the Irritated People. The narrative picks up with Kunimura still highly agitated about the incident, expressing paranoia and urging caution, much to Mikazuki's initial amusement. Kunimura confronts Mikazuki directly before rushing out of the meeting room after shouting at Yashida. Separately, Mikazuki approaches Yashida about a large sum of money deposited into his account, which he suspects is hush money related to the incident, expressing his fury about almost dying. Yashida, maintaining a calm demeanor, tells Mikazuki, and seemingly addressing Ryota, to leave the matter to him, and assures them he will handle it. Below the text is a large illustration featuring key characters from the novel. One character is shown leaning in the foreground, another looks directly out from a doorway with a determined expression, and a third is visible working at a console in the background. The setting appears to be inside a futuristic vehicle or command center, reflecting the novel's themes. The artwork is by Tomotake Kinoshita. Mikazuki, still vexed by a recent conference and a humiliating loss to Kunimura in a training battle, is further agitated by Kunimura's hero status and a suspicious bonus he received. He feels a connection between the mysterious navy blue machine and the hush money. Sensing something sinister, Mikazuki, skipping a meal, broods over the situation, his blood pressure rising. Approached by an unknown young man offering a handshake, Mikazuki rebuffs the gesture, demanding an explanation. The developers, rationalizing, praise the author Mr. Ishida, commending his bold narrative choices and expanding the Radiant Silvergun universe, particularly the exploration of the enemy perspective. They express excitement for the story's continued development. This page showcases a selection of manga and comic anthologies based on popular video games, published by SoftBank. The top section highlights the 4-panel DX series, featuring Pokemon 4-panel DX. This book collects humorous 4-panel comics based on the highly successful Game Boy game Pokemon, with contributions from a range of artists. It's already on sale. The second entry in the series is a Toshinden 4-panel DX, offering a comedic take on the popular PlayStation fighting game Battle Arena Toshinden, also featuring work by various artists. Below these, the Super Game Anthology comic series is presented. This series includes several books. First is a Battle Arena Toshinden anthology comic, filled with new illustrations and stories, including contributions from the game's character designer and other artists. Next is a book for Power Instinct 2, Guketsuji Ichizoku 2, another anthology comic based on the fighting game, featuring new content. Finally, there's a Darkstalker's Revenge, Vampire Hunter, anthology comic, based on the beloved arcade and console fighting game series, featuring new comics and illustrations by a talented lineup. Completing the lineup is the Super Real Mahjong PV Paradise anthology comic, which features original stories and art centered around the attractive characters from the Mahjong game series. The bottom of the page lists the publisher information for SoftBank and details on how to order the books. This page delves into the unique world of the Sega Saturn title, Story of the Seven Winds Island. It features a large, captivating illustration of the character Rack, an unusual tree-like creature, attributed here to Kita Amemiya's original illustrations. The graphic designer, Yasuda Kazuo, offers insights into the challenge of bringing Rack to life in the game. He explains that Rack is a character who constantly spins, with one arm retracting as the other extends, a 360-degree rotation motion that required significant effort to recreate accurately. A small diagram below his comments shows key elements or poses of Rack's design, illustrating this complex movement. The feature is titled, The Strange Companions of Story of the Seven Winds Island, depicted with Keita Amemiya's original illustrations, and also mentions Drive. Garo's Magic Lantern Show/Illusion Meeting. The text notes that the game is just 2 weeks away from release, suggesting this feature is part of a final push before launch.
This page presents a detailed look at the distinctive Sega Saturn RPG, Baroque, developed by Sting. It introduces the game as a new generation RPG that challenges Saturn users, highlighting its unsettling premise. The game features a protagonist suffering from amnesia who must navigate a detailed 3D world filled with bizarre and distorted forms, searching for the truth behind a catastrophic event. The article delves into the game's dark atmosphere and themes of illusion and distortion, reflecting the strange nature of the world the protagonist finds themselves in. It mentions a character named Yumi, who seems central to the mystery and the protagonist's quest. The text hints at a disturbing incident, possibly involving murder, which is part of the game's core narrative driving the investigation. Visually, the page features abstract, intense imagery, overlaid with fragmented English phrases like Baroque, distorted delusions, and this is the age of, reinforcing the game's thematic focus. Artwork depicting a melancholic female character in a red dress is also shown, likely the aforementioned Yumi, embodying the game's introspective and somber tone. The article emphasizes the unique, unsettling experience Baroque offers, positioning it as a thought-provoking title within the Saturn's library. This page delves further into the unsettling lore of the Sega Saturn title Baroque, specifically highlighting Baroquism Syndrome Baroque Prequel Volume 1. A striking quote from the character Yumi declares, "The sensory orb is everywhere," hinting at the pervasive influence of this mysterious element within the game's world. The page presents a prologue to You and a segment titled Baroque Murder, which introduces the character Anzai Yumi at age 15 and details a disturbing incident, likely the titular murder, as observed by the first-person narrator, presumably the game's protagonist. The narrative describes strange and intense interactions involving Yumi and a figure referred to as the boy, focusing on themes of perception, distorted senses, and the surreal reality of the world before the Great Heatwave. This prequel material serves to flesh out the origins of the game's bizarre setting, incorporating key concepts like the Neuro Tower, distorted forms, and the ever-present sensory orb, giving players a deeper understanding of the tragedy and madness that define Baroque. This page is dedicated to a user game creation contest for the Sega Saturn title Dizemon 2. Athena is holding a competition where players can create their own shoot-'em-up games using the software. The grand prize is a substantial 1 million yen, which is a serious incentive for aspiring game designers. The page announces that Dizemon 2 is currently on sale for 5,800 yen, excluding tax. It provides details on how to enter, requiring players to create their game, record it on VHS video, and submit it, along with planning documents and setting materials. The deadline for submissions is March 31st, 1998. The rules cover eligibility, emphasizing that anyone who uses Dizemon 2 can enter regardless of experience. And note important points like copyright and content restrictions. The winners will be notified directly. The page also features the game's logo and a friendly green rabbit character, suggesting the approachable nature of this game creation tool. There's a brief apology regarding the cancellation of a limited edition mouse pack. Overall, this is a call to creativity for Saturn owners, highlighting the potential of Dizemon 2 to empower players to become developers. This page provides a detailed look at the features packed into Dizemon 2 for the Sega Saturn, building on the opportunity for user creation. This isn't just for vertical shooters anymore.
You can now create and play horizontal shooters too. It fully supports two-player gameplay, letting you team up in your custom creations. Even beginners can easily craft graphics, including polygons, which are incredibly convenient to work with. The various editor screens are easy to understand, supported by online hints and intermediate demos.
You can design games featuring up to 10 stages.
The graphic creation tools allow for the use of 256 colors, enabling much more detailed visuals. Your ship's attack patterns can be combined in a staggering 1029 ways, and animation options have significantly increased, with 6 patterns available. You can even double the size of minor enemies. With these substantial function increases, this title is guaranteed to satisfy enthusiasts, giving you everything you need to truly become a game designer. This page promotes an SNK event titled Sunnyside Live 98, Neo Geo DJ Station Live 98. It's a live event featuring voice actors and music related to popular SNK titles like The King of Fighters, Fatal Fury, Samurai Showdown, and The Last Blade. The event was scheduled for January 17th and 18th, 1998, in Shinjuku, Tokyo. Ticket information is provided, costing 3,150 yen with reservations starting November 15th. The page lists the voice actors and the Shinsekai Gakkyoku Zakyodan Superband performing. Below, there are character spotlights. This month's recommendation features Kyoshiro Sentreo from the Samurai Showdown series, discussing his fighting style and appearances since Samurai Showdown 2. His voice actor, Kong Kuwata, is also noted. This month's KO highlights the Orochi team from the King of Fighters 97 with accompanying artwork. The page also includes upcoming SNK releases for November 1997,
such as the King of Fighters 97 Drama CD and the SNK Character Collections Volume 4, featuring Terry Bogard, covering music and voice clips from his appearances. There is also a Hyper Freak section, which seems to be a reader corner with submissions and a popularity poll. Finally, a Renewal Project Present section lists winners of a reader submission project related to SNK titles.
This page is a practical combo guide for the King of Fighters 97, continuing from a previous feature and including techniques for the hidden characters. It encourages players to use these combos in actual battles. The guide provides detailed inputs and execution tips for continuous techniques for numerous characters, including the Orochi team, Orochi Yori, Orochi Leona, Orochi Shermie, Orochi Chris, Leona, Athena, Ralph, Clark, Kenso, Chin Gensai, 94 Kyo Kusanagi, Yuri Sakazaki, Robert Garcia, Ryo Sakazaki, Chung Kohan, Kim Kafwan, Awakened Leona, and Awakened Iori. Each character section lists specific button sequences and notes on timing, opponent state, e.g., crouching,
or situational advice.
For example, Robert's notes highlight his Hitandrun strategy. Ryo's mentions specific opponents for certain moves, and Kim's emphasizes a foundational combo. Accompanying the guide are several gameplay screenshots showcasing characters like Robert, Clark, Athena, and Kim
executing moves or parts of the discussed combos.
Writer comments at the bottom discuss preferred team compositions, mentioning characters like Kyo, Iori, Terry, Mary, Shermie, Robert, and the Orochi team as enjoyable to play, and note the fun of experimentation in finding effective teams. This page is the cover of the perfect guide for Super Robot Wars F on the SEGA Saturn. It immediately grabs your attention, asking, "Have you seen the strongest Super Robot War?" and confidently calling itself the ultimate strategy guide in the series. This isn't just a basic walkthrough. It's a comprehensive resource promising detailed data on all the robots and pilots appearing in Super Robot Wars feed, alongside in-depth map strategies and crucial data analysis. It's presented as the essential companion you need to play the game effectively. The cover also notes that it was already well received and on sale. Inside, you'll find explanations of the game systems, a story chart, detailed map guides, data breakdown, reference material, and even some extra tips. This guide, published by SoftBank, was clearly designed to be the definitive resource for players navigating this epic mecha crossover RPG on the Saturn. This page features a couple of columns and a manga strip. The hypercolumn Free Talk Gallery section includes Sakurai Tomomi's Message to the Heart Volume 5, where the voice actress shares personal thoughts about the changing weather, staying warm, enjoying winter activities like eating tangerines while cozy, listening to winter-themed music, mentioning Kami-sama and Christmas Carol, and reflecting on the importance of smiling. An illustration by Yu Hashimoto accompanies her text. Below, a small information box details an upcoming live event for the group Taji on December 24th, including venue, time, ticket price, and contact. The main visual content is a manga titled Izumi Takemoto's Various Notes.
Number 5. A Certain Day's Child and Adult.
This strip follows characters discussing video game extras, or omake. They talk about various items included with games over the years, from Famicom mini booklets, illustrations, and figures, to creeds, and even keyboards. Specific PlayStation games are mentioned in the context of large or notable extras, like Zero Divide and Dukyusei 2 with multiple figures, and using a keyboard extra for pop-in music. The characters humorously ponder the nature of what constitutes an extra, and the temptation of buying games just for the included goodies, even touching on the idea of impulsive purchases. This page provides a detailed analysis of the game mechanics in All Japan Pro Wrestling, featuring Virtua, a solid wrestling title on the SEGA Saturn. It kicks off by breaking down the core three-way system: attack, throw, and hold, explaining how they interact in a rock-paper-scissors dynamic. Attack is great for setting up combos and is hard to dodge, while throw excels at punishing opponent whiffs and executes quickly. Hold is the key to big damage moves, but leaves you vulnerable if missed due to its longer reach.
The guide then reveals a cool hidden trick for the game's featuring mode.
Normally, reversal prompts aren't displayed here, making it tougher, but holding L plus R plus right when selecting the mode at the title screen will make them appear, giving you a significant edge in timing your counters. Finally, there's a section on boosting your popularity and skill points, essential for progressing in the game. Earning popularity, perhaps most easily by causing chaos outside the ring, is key to entering major events like the Champion Carnival. Skill points, which determine your move proficiency and available techniques, are initially influenced by your wrestler's age, and can be significantly increased by competing and winning matches in the carnivals. The guide also notes that unwanted moves can be sold for extra skill points, suggesting some beneficial moves like arm locks or brainbusters that are hard for opponents to escape. The page includes screenshots showing gameplay, and the wrestler status screen with stats and move lists. This guide analyzes Hiroshi Has in the wrestling game, featuring Virtua. When playing as Hayes, the strategy revolves around combo attacks into throws like the back suplex, or using headbutts to set up backdrops. Once the spirit gauge is full, the focus switches to drop kicks into the Yura STF submission. Facing Has requires a different approach. His back suplex causes significant neck injury, making it a threat.
Countering his chops is recommended. When his spirit gauge is full, anticipate grapple reversals. The Northern Lights bomb is a low-risk move, so staying down to recover stamina after being hit is advisable. The guide also provides a detailed move list, covering various strikes, holds, throws, and special maneuvers. Screenshots illustrate the moves and the game's strategic depth. This page delves into strategies for playing as and against some of the top competitors in All Japan Pro Wrestling, featuring Virtua, Giant Baba, Mitsuharu Misawa, and Toshiaki Kawada. When playing as Giant Baba, his powerful 16-count kick is your prime finisher, easy to command, and very effective. Letting the opponent hit you to build spirit before using a headbutt into a backdrop is a solid tactic. Facing Baba requires caution. His 16-count kick heavily drains spirit, and his hammer throw is notoriously difficult to reverse right after the initial hold. Watch out for the long recovery time on his chops to punish misses. For Mitsuharu Misawa, the rolling elbow, derived from his combo elbow, is a great damage dealer. Keep opponents at bay due to its deceptive reach. When facing Misawa, his facelock is incredibly dangerous, easily leading to a submission victory with its high neck damage. His super move, the Tiger Driver 91, is devastating, especially to the neck, requiring precise timing on the reversal marker that appears after the camera shift. Toshiaki Kawada, Dangerous-esque, excels with his long-range kicks as a player, and his moveset focuses heavily on neck damage, culminating in the deadly stretch plum submission. As an opponent, the stretch plum is arguably the hardest move to escape in the game. Pay attention to the visual cue when he lifts you for a powerbomb to reverse it, and time your reversal for the vertical drop brainbuster just as he grips your arm. This guide focuses on Akira Taue, Kenta Kobashi, and Jun Akiyama in All Japan Pro Wrestling, featuring Virtua. Taue is a powerhouse, relying on strikes and his dynamic bomb finisher for pinfalls.
Counter the dynamic bomb immediately after the camera angle changes. His dangerous backdrop is also a key move, demanding precise reversal timing. Kenta Kobashi uses flashy moves, focusing on neck damage. Employ his rolling chops to set up headlocks. Reverse his rising Kobashi chop before the hit or on the third hit. His half Nelson suplex is a quick reversal, while the reverse full Nelson DDT is slower.
Jun Akiyama, when his spirit meter is high, is explosive.
Use the exploder suplex for damage, and the Blue Thunder for a pin. Reverse the Blue Thunder just after he grabs you. The exploder suplex also deals heavy damage, but a reversal window exists. This guide details strategies for playing and countering Stan Hansen, Bruiser Brody, Williams, and Steve Williams, Albright, in All Japan Pro Wrestling featuring Virtua. Stan Hansen is centered around his lethal Western Lariat, requiring players to master its use and opponents to time counters precisely. His powerbomb and elbow drop sequence are also threats.
Bruiser Brody, Williams, relies on his dangerous backdrop and Dr. Bomb.
Players controlling him should prioritize the dangerous backdrop, while opponents should focus on countering his lift-up slam and the level 2 dangerous backdrop. Steve Williams, Albright, uses powerful suplexes. His flashy 4-hit German suplex is a key finisher. The guide advises players to counter his Nagipanashi German and Flying Mayor, suggesting a full Nelson suplex for the latter.
Quote,
this page continues the strategy guide for All Japan Pro Wrestling featuring Virtua, detailing tactics for 3 more wrestlers, Ace, Wolf, and Jeffrey. For Ace, who has risen to become a top foreign wrestler, players should utilize powerful moves like the Cobra Clutch Suplex and Ace Crusher, aiming to finish opponents with a powerbomb into a shrimp hold. When facing Ace, be prepared to counter his strikes, as they often lead to throws. Pay attention to reversal timing for moves like the Nagepanashi German Suplex and the Ace Crusher, noting the Ace Crusher can inflict significant neck damage. Wolf is highlighted for his devastating moves, particularly the giant swing and dragon suplex hold. Playing as Wolf means leveraging these powerful techniques, especially the giant swing, which can quickly wear down an opponent's neck and waist. Countering Wolf requires practicing escapes for the giant swing, which is nearly unavoidable once initiated, and being wary of the difficult Keto escape dragon suplex hold. Jeffrey is presented as a fighter strong in strikes, recommending players aggressively use his diverse striking arsenal and finish with the potent Splash Mountain. The choke sleeper swing is also noted as a submission finisher. Against Jeffrey, be aware of the 2 variations of Splash Mountain and the difficulty in reversing his backbreaker and choke sleeper swing, which inflict significant damage. This page announces the results of the second SEGA Saturn Magazine exam, a test of reader knowledge. After some delay, the results are finally in. Out of 465 total applicants, 63 people received certification, earning a place among the knowledgeable elite. The main focus is the announcement of the top 3 scorers.
First place goes to Takafumi Chiba, with an impressive 95 out of 100 points. A 26-year-old company employee, he expressed joy at leaving his name in the exam's history, achieved by diligently rereading the magazine. In second place is Kazuhiro Yaku, a 17-year-old student, scoring 93 points. He's happy to have achieved such a high rank, having been a long-time reader. Rounding out the top 3 is Koji Fuchis, a 24-year-old company employee, who scored 92 points. He aimed for the top 50, so placing third is a thrilling and almost scary prospect, as he might get even more hooked on the magazine. The page also shows a trophy, the official passing certificate awarded to those who achieved the required score, and a special telecard featuring character art that looks like it's from Silhouette Mirage, given as a prize to the top finishers. It's a great reward for demonstrating superior knowledge of all things Saturn and Satamaga. This page continues the results from the recent skill assessment test, diving deeper into the performance data. Section 2 provides a detailed distribution of the scores, illustrating how participants fared. The average score for the test was 64.16 points, with scores ranging widely from a high of 95 points down to 27 points, a difference of 68 points. The distribution shows a general spread, with a concentration of participants scoring around the average, between 55 and 75 points, suggesting the test produced results typical for this type of assessment. Section 2. It delves into the distribution of deviation values, offering a relative measure of performance. It explains how the deviation value corresponds to raw scores, noting that the top score of 95 points translates to a deviation value of 70.0, while the lowest score of 27 points is 25.9.
This section encourages everyone who took the test, whether they applied for certification or not, to find where their score falls within this distribution. Finally, Section IV lists the names of the participants who ranked from 4th place down to 47th place. These individuals are recognized for their strong performance, indicating they likely achieved scores high enough to qualify for certification. The list includes each person's name and their home prefecture, acknowledging their success in this challenging examination. This page provides the complete answer key for the recent second type SATURN certification exam discussed on the previous page. It lays out the correct responses for questions 1 through 81 in an answer sheet format, allowing participants to check their performance. Notably, question 29 had multiple acceptable answers, either 12 or 25, and both were counted as correct. The page also includes an analysis of test trends and suggested countermeasures. It highlights that recent exams have seen an increase in questions drawn from the magazine's weekly era, shifting from its earlier twice-monthly era. As a straightforward strategy to prepare, readers are advised that the best approach is simply to purchase and read the magazine every Friday. Accompanying the answer key is a graphical analysis presented as a 3D bar chart. This chart visualizes the correct answer rates for various questions or question groups throughout the test, giving insight into which areas proved most challenging for participants. The overall average correct answer rate for this exam was 67.3%, suggesting it was a moderately difficult assessment. The introductory text emphasizes the importance of reviewing results and being careful, noting that many participants lost points simply by making errors in filling out the answer sheet. This page presents the complete answer key for the SEGA Saturn Magazine certification exam, picking up from the previous page's answer sheet format. It covers a range of questions from different eras of the magazine's history, including the early monthly and bi-monthly periods, and continues into the weekly era. Answers revealed include details about SEGA's internal structure, like the second AMR&D department, game-specific knowledge such as the function of the guard button in fighting games, and identifying games from screenshots like the mech titles. There's a question involving the correct order of game releases or features, including Panzer Dragoon, Layer Section, Virtua Cop, and Parodius. Another answer clarifies details about Puyo Puyo 2's online capabilities via X-Band. The key also identifies characters such as Neto-chan and Tongala de Pepperushu, 2 Eyes, and developers like Kenji Ino. Hardware details are included, such as the weights of different SEGA Saturn control pads. The page also includes a model answer, explaining the magazine's transformation into a weekly publication, highlighting it as a response to reader and user demand. The overall summary provides the final statistics for the exam, noting 465 applicants, an average correct answer rate of 64%, and setting the passing line at 85%. The magazine thanks all applicants for participating. This page serves as the reader survey postcard for the magazine, a vital tool for connecting with the SEGA Saturn community. It provides clear instructions and examples for filling out the questionnaire correctly for submission. The survey covers various aspects of the reader profile, including demographics, reading habits for other gaming magazines, and opinions on the current issues cover. Crucially for any dedicated Saturn player, it delves into software and hardware ownership and future purchase intentions, referencing extensive lists of articles, hardware items, and a massive list of available and upcoming software titles. This allowed enthusiasts to directly communicate their interests and influence future magazine content and potentially even game development trends. It's a snapshot of what the SEGA Saturn audience was thinking and wanting at the time. This page features an advertisement for Lunar Silver Star Story complete on the SEGA Saturn, presented as another RPG in the beloved Lunar world. The vibrant illustration prominently displays a cheerful character, likely Luna, and smaller scenes depicting other characters and moments from the game, including sequences set in the Magic Academy. The ad promotes it as a lively adventure story designed specifically for the SEGA Saturn. It highlights a first-press bonus of a trading card, and provides the scheduled release date of November 20th, 1997, along with the price. This classic RPG, developed by GameArts and Studio Alex, is a highly anticipated title for Saturn owners, promising a captivating experience with its signature anime style and engaging narrative. This page showcases a fascinating SEGA Saturn peripheral, the word processor set, now updated with digital camera compatibility. Forget just playing games. This allows you to transform your Saturn into a creative hub. You can easily integrate your own photos, or, perhaps more excitingly for gamers, import screenshots directly from your favorite Saturn titles. Imagine using those captured moments from Tokimeki Memorial or Angelique, alongside included clip art featuring popular characters from those very games, to design custom letters, cards, or even photo stickers. The set comes bundled with a printer and interface, making it a comprehensive tool for creating unique printed materials like New Year's cards or personalized business cards, all powered by your Saturn. It even supports video input for capturing images from other sources. It's a unique blend of gaming and productivity, leveraging the console in ways rarely seen today.
This page presents an advertisement for the SEGA Saturn fighting game, Zero Divide: The Final Conflict. This is the ultimate evolution of the popular 3D polygonal fighting series that first gained traction on other platforms. The game is set to release on November 20, 1997, priced at 5,800 yen. The page features the game's title prominently in both English and Japanese, highlighting its genre with the phrase, 3D polygonal fighting. Below the title, a large image depicts a detailed character model, likely one of the game's fighters, or a key figure. At the bottom, 4 screenshots showcase intense battles between various robotic and cybernetic characters in diverse, network-themed arenas. The text provides a glimpse into the plot. In the advanced network space of 20XX, an aggressive program named Zulu emerged during the XTAL incident. Now, the malevolent XTAL program is attempting to revive within Zulu. Driven by Zulu's desire for self-destruction and to prevent XTAL's return, other evolved aggressive programs gather. The tagline, "Stop me, erase my existence," and XTAL likely reflects Zulu's internal struggle. This title promises a compelling narrative woven into its competitive fighting gameplay on the Saturn. This page features an advertisement for the adventure game Tutankhamun no Nazo, which translates to The Mystery of Tutankhamun. This title was released simultaneously on both the PlayStation and the SEGA Saturn on November 20, 1997. The page is dominated by the image of acclaimed Egyptologist Sakuji Yoshimura, who is credited as the planning, original story, and production supervisor for the game, standing in front of a representation of Tutankhamun's iconic golden mask. The core of the game involves uncovering the secrets of the legendary pharaoh. The game's premise, as highlighted by the text, challenges the player to find the true tomb of King Tutankhamun and safely guide his cursed spirit to the afterlife. It poses the central question: can you succeed in sending the king to the underworld? Several small screenshots are shown at the bottom, depicting various locations and scenes likely encountered in the game, including views of Cairo, ancient ruins, enigmatic figures, and interior chambers. As a bonus for purchasing the game, there was a campaign offering players the chance to win one of 18 Ankh pendant heads, further tying into the game's ancient Egyptian theme. The game was developed by Ibis Inc. and Ray Corporation, and published by Ray Corporation. This page features a prominent look at Langrisser, Dramatic Edition for the Sega Saturn. This title isn't a new game, but a combined, enhanced version of the first 2 classic Langrisser strategy RPGs. Langrisser, Descendants of Light, and Der Langrisser. It brings the legendary eternal conflict between the forces of light and dark to the Saturn, with significant upgrades. The page showcases beautiful character artwork featuring iconic heroes and heroines from the series. The text highlights several key improvements for this release, including new story developments, completely new battle backgrounds, dramatically improved character graphics, expanded story elements, a polished game system, and faster loading times. Small screenshots offer a peek at both the dialogue scenes and the strategic battles. Slated for release in February 1998, the game was priced provisionally at 6,300 yen. As a purchase bonus, buyers would receive an original drama CD. This edition aimed to be the definitive way to experience the beginnings of the Langrisser saga. This page features a portrait of Kenji Ino, the influential game creator known for his unique titles like D and Enemy Zero. The article presents a long interview with Ino, focusing on his plans following a period of silence. The text highlights his return and probes into his next steps and the future direction of his development studio, Warp. Rather than being seen as someone roaring back, the article suggests he is speaking about what lies ahead, questioning where his vision is focused and what journey Warp will embark on next. This page continues the interview with Kenji Ino, focusing on the impact and reception of his unique title, Real Sound, Kaze no Regret. The large character on the left is Shi, meaning start or beginning, hinting at the theme of his return and future plans discussed here. Exino shares that Real Sound received a surprising amount of feedback from players, including letters and messages.
even from visually impaired individuals who appreciated the audio-only format. He mentions receiving comments like, "I cried," and some calling it the most interesting game they'd played. Despite the game's financial challenges for Warp, iCrano expresses happiness at the strong, positive reactions. He reflects on his past work, including D and Enemy Zero, and feels he's now ready for the next step in his career. The interview concludes with Eno stating a powerful realization. He truly loves making games and is committed to continuing with his team at Warp, regardless of other opportunities that may arise. This page features Kenji Eno again, under the large title, so that you can enjoy the gameness a bit more. The page details his upcoming projects under the New Work Information section, numbered 1, 2, and 3. Project 1 is D, where he is completely remaking the game. Development started about 4 months ago, with 3 months focused on CG. All previous graphic and program data from the M2 version has been discarded, and the project is entirely new, changing the main character, worldview, and story. Project 2 is Real Sound 2, planned for release next spring.
Imino mentions a target price and plans to make individual play sessions shorter.
He discusses casting via general auditions, and reveals the story's theme revolves around fear, exploring both direct and indirect forms of terror. Project 3 is an RPG game, marking the debut of Yu Sakamoto as game designer, planned with Ino and Osamu Watanabe. They are collaborating on music and character design, which is currently in negotiation with external parties. The estimated release window is 1 to 1.5 years. With hardware currently undecided. Ino emphasizes the goal is to make this title highly enjoyable as a game, and aims for significant sales, targeting around 3 million units. A small screenshot at the bottom shows a character from the previously announced M2 version of D's Diner 2, known as D2 internationally, lamenting that this beautiful CG won't be seen now due to the project's change in direction. This page continues with Kenji Eno, focusing on his activities beyond game development. He talks about his media appearances, including hosting the TV show Game Planet, which saw high viewership, making radio appearances, and even producing promotional materials for musicians like Tadanobu Asano and Yoko Kanno. He mentions his website, noting he participates in the chat about once every 4 days. He also briefly touches on a recent diet where he lost 5 kilograms, humorously mentioning eating hamburgers every 3 days as part of his method. Looking back over a decade in the industry, Ino reflects that while game development has evolved, he feels the core interaction methods, the input and output, haven't progressed significantly compared to other media, though he sees potential in concepts like memory cards. The page also includes Warp-related information, detailing their handwritten newsletter, Konichi Warp, and their website, which offers chat and simple games. There's also a second call for participants for Laura's birthday event.
Finally, readers have a chance to win prizes, including signed items from Ino, by writing in.
This page gives readers a preview of upcoming SEGA Saturn titles, featuring a large illustration of Knuckles the Echidna, ready for action from the racing game Sonic RAR. The content is divided into 2 sections, highlighting both newly released games and those coming soon. The new release title section quickly introduces titles hitting stores, providing page numbers for more details. Among these are Warcraft 2, Dark Saga, a strategy powerhouse, and surprisingly, Mario Mushanobu no Chao Shogi Juku, a licensed shogi game featuring the Nintendo character. The Coming Soon Soft section previews a range of highly anticipated titles. Fans of RPGs can look forward to Devil Summoners, Soul Hackers, and Vandal Hearts. Lost Ancient Civilization. Fighting game enthusiasts will find Real Bout Fatal Fury Special listed, while strategy fans might be interested in Transport Tycoon and a Koei game based on Suikoden. Other previews include Sonic R itself, AJ League Pro Soccer Club Simulation, a powerful pro baseball title, SD Gundam G Century, and Mahou Gakuen Lunar, expanding the console's diverse library with exciting new experiences. The page serves as a quick guide to essential SEGA Saturn releases. This page dives into Warcraft 2, The Dark Saga, the excellent real-time strategy title ported from PC. It highlights the game's blend of base building, resource management, and tactical combat, all unfolding in real time. The core gameplay revolves around gathering resources like gold and lumber, constructing buildings, and producing units to build up your forces. You get to experience the conflict from both sides, playing through distinct campaigns as either the noble humans or the destructive orcs. A human story follows the rise of the corrupted Medivh and the efforts of heroes like Hanchuan and Juan Lothar to save Azeroth. Meanwhile, the orc narrative centers on Gul'dan's pact and invasion. Key mechanics covered include managing different unit types, from basic peasants and peons for production to footmen and grunts for combat, with more advanced units unlocking later. Exploration is vital as the map starts shrouded in darkness. Ultimately, success hinges on strategically balancing building, production, and direct combat to achieve mission objectives, which can sometimes involve defending structures or controlling resources. It's a demanding but rewarding experience that showcases the thrill of real-time strategy. This page introduces the quirky action puzzle game, Sparkle Flash. The core gameplay revolves around using a disc called a reflex and reflecting it off mirrors to defeat enemies and break obstacles. Simply throwing the disc directly isn't effective. Reflection is the key to success. Different types of reflexes offer special effects when reflected. The page highlights several modes. There's a practice mode to learn the ropes and understand the game's mechanics. The main attraction seems to be the multiplayer battle mode, supporting up to 4 players for chaotic fun. 2 types of battles are available: skill battle, focused on defeating opponents, and survival battle, where the last one standing wins. Item appearance is random, adding to the unpredictable nature. For solo players, there's a challenging 1P mode, where you control the character Spark through 10 stages, culminating in a boss battle at the end of each stage. A useful tip for the tough single-player mode is to manipulate the angled mirrors to create horizontal reflections, allowing you to trap enemies by having the disc bounce back and forth between 2 mirrors. The page also shows the different playable characters: the balanced Spark, the speedy Hayate, the beginner-friendly Chami, and the powerful Wappa. Overall, it looks like a game where mastering reflections is crucial, offering both challenging single-player and frantic multiplayer experiences. This page features a digital photo collection and an adventure game. First up is Puradol Disc Volume 7 Kaori Aso, a digital gravure release from SATA Soft, scheduled for November 20th. Rated for all ages, this disc offers high-quality photos and movies of the idol Kaori Aso, known for her role in B-Fighter Kabuto. It includes various content, like a 100-question quiz about her, behind-the-scenes making-of footage, self-portrait photos, and mini-games like Achimuite HOI, and a private quiz. The photos showcase her in various settings, including swimsuits, highlighting her profile details like height and measurements. Below that is Kunoichi Mochitsubo, a kunoichi training adventure game from Cree, set for release in February '98. While training games often lean toward simulation, this title combines adventure game elements, where story progression and character parameter changes are driven by player choices. It also incorporates RPG-like battles, presented in a card battle format, along with mini-games and numerous events. Players guide the protagonist, Ran, a half-fledged kunoichi aiming to follow in her famous mother's footsteps, on a mission to Edo. The page shows character art of Ran and a screenshot of the card battle system, promising a story-rich experience focused on raising your own kunoichi. This page is all about Devil Summoners, Soul Hackers, one of the standout RPGs on the system. Right off the bat, it dives into revealing the dungeon maps for the early game, showcasing the layouts for the Argonne NS building across multiple floors, including 1F through 5F, and the B1F. This is essential guidance for navigating these initial areas. The page confirms the game's completion rate is a solid 100% and provides the key release details. It's an Atlas RPG, already on sale as of November 13th, priced at 6,800 yen on 2 CDs and recommended for all ages. Commentary from Atlas PR promises a high-quality experience. A section titled, "Where is the Leader?" discusses the Argonne NS building in more detail, contrasting its real-world version with the Vision Quest counterpart, and mentioning gameplay elements like exploring different routes, using elevators, and finding crucial save points. Screenshots feature characters like Nemissa and Hitomai. It also introduces some of the early game demons you'll encounter, giving insights into their traits and skills. You'll see familiar faces like Pixie, Gaki with its dangerous scratch attack, and others like Gallytrot, Facebind, Knocker, and Gremlin, hinting at the types of challenges you'll face and potential negotiation targets. Finally, a fascinating mechanic is highlighted: How demons' behavior changes drastically depending on the moon phase, especially during a full moon, affecting both conversation success and their combat ferocity. Knowing this is key to surviving the demon world. The next page delves deeper into devil summoners, soul hackers, focusing on a crucial early mission received from Victor. He tasks you with venturing to the warehouse district on Akaoba Bay to retrieve a vital item needed to repair the Gump, which is out of order due to troubles. This item, described as being like part of Victor himself, is critical.
The warehouse area is presented as the next major dungeon and the start of more challenging combat. It contains 3 large warehouses, but the central one is initially locked. To proceed, you must find a way into the central warehouse, which requires exploring the 2 side buildings first. The page provides detailed maps for the first, second, and third warehouses across multiple floors, including 1F and several basement levels, B1F, B2F, B3F. Unique mechanics are highlighted. The first warehouse features frozen floors and walls, while the second has treasure locations and dungeon layouts that differ from the first. The third warehouse, specifically B3F, is noted as a simple area composed only of small rooms and corridors, seemingly devoid of traps, and serves as the location for save points and recovery facilities. The demons encountered here are said to be significantly stronger than those in the previous NS building, requiring careful preparation and leveling. The difficulty jump emphasizes the need to utilize your summoned demons effectively. The page also features character art for Nemissa, hinting at her continued involvement in this part of the story. This page dives into the essential system of demon fusion in devil summoners, soul hackers, specifically focusing on the standard 2-body fusion, which can now be conveniently performed via the Gump device. A large table illustrates the results of fusing different demon races, and a diagram shows how various races fit within the game's alignment system of light, dark, law, and chaos. These charts are presented as fundamental tools for players mastering the fusion mechanic, which is crucial for building a strong party. The page also highlights demons particularly useful for traversing the frozen warehouse dungeon discussed on the previous page. It profiles 3 specific demons: Hecate, Holy Beast; Acheri, Ogress; and Vodyanoi, Night Demon, providing their stats and suggesting fusion recipes to obtain them early. Hecate is noted for powerful multi-target magic and a map spell. Acheri is praised for her combat prowess and utility in further fusions, and Vodyanoi is recommended for the party in the warehouse due to a potent attack despite its HP/MP cost. Finally, there's information about the Demon Compendium Volume 2, a separate software releasing soon that allows players to view soul hackers' demons. More importantly, a New Year campaign is detailed, offering a limited cry drum containing an exclusive extra dungeon to 1,000 winners of a postcard lottery. This extra content is designed for players using their main game save data, providing a significant bonus not found in the base game. This page introduces the SEGA Saturn game Superstar Bowling, a bowling simulation where players interact with 5 popular voice actresses. The goal isn't just to bowl well, but also to converse successfully with your chosen partner between frames and matches to win a tournament. The game unfolds over 4 days. Day 1 involves a 3-on-3 team match, where you choose a partner. Day 2 pits you against your Day 1 partner while teaming up with a new girl, with success depending on your score and answering questions correctly. Day 3 is a 1-on-1 match against your partner. Winning this leads to an invitation to the tournament on Day 4, where you compete in doubles matches through an 8-team bracket. The game features voice actresses Chisa Yokoyama, Akiko Hiramatsu, Marina Ono, Shihori Niwa, and Yuri Shiratori. A notable bonus is included on Disc 2, unlockable after clearing the game. This disc contains behind-the-scenes footage of the voice actresses, showing their natural selves during recording sessions and other activities, concluding with a hint of a major announcement. The game was developed by Umedia/Aroma, 4 Winds Software Inc., and Chameleon House, released on November 13th for 6,800 yen, classified as a sports game on 2 discs, and recommended for all ages. This page focuses on the fighting game, Real Bout Fatal Fury Special. The large title at the top reads, Mastered Battle System. The page details the game's core mechanics, highlighting the evolution of the series. A key feature is the 2-line battle system, which breaks the norm of 2D fighting games by adding a second plane for movement, adding strategic depth for offense and defense. Players can evade attacks by moving to the other line or attack from it. The power gauge system is also explained,
which builds up as you attack. This gauge enables special techniques like the break shot, an attack that can be performed after guarding to stop an opponent's rush. It also powers potential ability, a move similar to super special moves but with different properties, requiring strategic use depending on the situation. Standard super special moves are also present, known for their destructive power and satisfying impact when they connect. The page suggests mastering these systems is key to victory. There are screenshots showing gameplay featuring characters like Billy Kane, Lawrence Blood, Ryo Sakazaki, Franco Bash, Joe Higashi, and Blue Mary, demonstrating the two-line system and special moves. A small section at the bottom appears to be a Q&A or discussion among staff about their impressions of the game, asking if RBS, Real Bout Special, was fun, and mentioning specific characters they enjoyed. The release info mentions a December 25th release date. Real Bout Fatal Fury Special's advanced mechanics build upon its core systems, focusing on offensive strategies. Continuous techniques are emphasized, utilizing combos that push opponents for further attacks. The secondary line, though offering evasion, isn't completely safe, opening possibilities for cross-line offense and defense. Guarding is available on either line. The corner battle system introduces destructible obstacles. Hitting these in the corner decreases their durability, leading to a brief stun and combo opportunities. Subtle systems like mid-air direction changes and adjustable jump trajectories add complexity. The staff found the continuous techniques challenging but satisfying, praising the evolution of the two-line battle system. They also note the varying strengths of different characters. SD Gundam G Century is a strategy game for the SEGA Saturn featuring super deformed mobile suits. It's designed to be accessible, yet offers strategic depth through base capture battles. The Saturn version improves upon earlier versions with faster loading times, especially during unit production. Players build units using turns and money, with stronger units requiring more resources and time. The technical level, increased by capturing locations, unlocks powerful units and mobile armors. Efficient unit manufacturing and deployment are simplified, enhancing the gameplay experience. The game, supporting up to 4 players, is aimed at all ages and falls under the simulation genre. SD Gundam G Century for SEGA Saturn requires strategic thinking beyond just unit construction. Success depends on tactical movement, supply management, and base capture. Determine optimal invasion routes, targeting enemy weak points, considering terrain's impact on movement, and managing unit propellant. Warships are crucial for transporting units, providing supplies, and refueling propellant, but are costly. Capturing territory is vital, providing income and bases for repair, supply, and production. Secure cities, colonies, income and supply, industrial military satellites, production and repair, and airports, space unit deployment. The game features action-based combat, where player skill matters. Transformable units offer movement advantages. Be mindful of fighting within cities, as it can damage facilities. Prioritize strategic planning, resource management, warship utilization, and base capture for victory. The next page features the simulation game Solo Crisis by Quintet, which is nearing completion at 90%. The focus is on the tactical possibilities presented by the game's diverse maps. The core concept is searching for tactics that fit the specific map layout. The game utilizes a map-clearing objective, where the terrain changes and reveals different characteristics, including connections to an other world. Screenshots show isometric views of battlefields featuring units, structures like houses, and terrain like lakes and hills. A unit status display for Joshua is shown. The page presents a tactical example using Map 2, which contrasts with the previously shown Map 1. Unlike Map 1's open terrain, Map 2 has complex features like rocks, lakes, and points linked to the other world, creating a map with 2 sides, front and back. The strategy detailed involves using a warp gate, which connects these sides and serves as an enemy entry point. The tactic is to build structures like houses near the gate on the front side to lure or damage enemies as they pass through to the back, where your units can then engage. The houses can even heal friendly units on the back side, making it a versatile tactical element. The developer humorously comments on the final push, mentioning the closing of a local convenience store. The next page delves further into the strategic depths of Solo Crisis. It highlights several key systems that influence gameplay. First, the concept of Nu Sumobe explains how certain enemy monsters can actually join your side after completing a stage or being defeated by a human unit during a battle. This adds an interesting dynamic to unit acquisition. Next, the class change system is detailed. After clearing a stage,
One Samobe unit can undergo a class change, significantly boosting their abilities. Deciding which unit to promote is crucial, as it shapes your strategy for future battles, allowing you to specialize units for direct combat or ranged attacks. For instance, a tribal chief can become a leader, gaining improved stats and the ability to build higher-tier structures like earth houses. Finally, a major strategic element, investigating the enemy's formation and stealing the demon's power, is introduced. This involves sending reconnaissance units into the other world to find and destroy the enemy's buildings. These buildings are the source of the demon's power, SP or miracle points, and their destruction prevents the demon from using powerful miracles. A key tactic demonstrated is using miracles, which require a Samobe within a 7x7 range, to submerge enemy leaders once their power source is cut off. Successfully doing so without the demon being able to save them leads to victory for the divine side. The screenshots illustrate various unit types, buildings, and terrain features, including the submerged unit graphic. This page showcases the exciting action racing of Sonic SAR, going beyond the main Grand Prix mode to reveal other ways to play. Development is 100% complete, and the game features unique character abilities, modes like tag, and hidden characters, promising a variety of fun. A major highlight is the time attack mode, which features the appearance of a ghost runner representing your best lap. This allows you to race against your own fastest time, pushing you to improve your lines and technique on the tracks. The page demonstrates how to enable the ghost feature through the option menu by setting the ghost item to on, and then racing and retrying within time attack. Screenshots show specific moments like the start dash, navigating loops, and jumping sections, illustrating that beating your ghost requires mastering every part of the course. Competing against yourself is a key challenge in time attack, and if you find yourself stuck, the game even suggests trying a different character. This page dives deeper into the time attack mode of Sonic SAR, specifically highlighting the unique reverse mode. This isn't just racing backwards, it's a whole new challenge. In reverse mode, you race the tracks counterclockwise instead of the usual direction. This can lead to surprising discoveries, like finding entirely new routes or shortcuts you'd never see going the standard way. And it offers the potential to shave off precious seconds from your best times. Just like the regular time attack, you can race against your ghost to perfect your lines and technique on these altered layouts. The page then showcases how the first 4 courses included in the game change when tackled in reverse. Resort Island, usually a straightforward beach track, offers different branching path strategies. Radical City, with its towering structures, provides advantages for characters who can fly, opening up new shortcuts. Regal Ruin throws you into a sharp banked corner right at the start, demanding immediate precision. Finally, Reactive Factory becomes a tricky test of navigation through its complex layout and jump platforms, which also need to be mastered in reverse. Experiencing these familiar tracks from a completely different perspective keeps the time attack challenges fresh and exciting. This page explores 2 other exciting modes in Sonic RAR, starting with the balloon mode. This isn't your typical race. It's a frantic treasure hunt. The goal is to find and pop 5 blue balloons scattered across the course as quickly as possible. These balloons aren't always on the main path. They can be hidden in unexpected places, turning each attempt into a discovery mission. While initially tough to find them all, learning the locations is key to shaving seconds off your time and mastering this challenging mode. The screenshots illustrate the variety of spots they can appear, including seemingly inaccessible areas, and even on the water. Next up is the thrilling 2-player battle play, which also features a balloon mode variant. Here, 9 balloons are placed around the track, and the first player to pop 5 of them claims victory. This head-to-head mode emphasizes not just speed, but also strategy and knowledge of the course and balloon placements. Knowing the optimal route to grab those 5 balloons before your opponent is paramount. It highlights that even characters who can't pop balloons just by touching them can still succeed by using jumps, making every character viable for the intense showdown. This page explores 2 exciting modes in Sonic R, starting with the Tag 4 Characters mode, also known as Onigoko mode, which translates to tag or chase. This mode transforms the racetracks into a frantic game of tag, where the player, as Sonic, must chase down and touch the other 4 characters scattered across the course. The other characters actively try to evade you, utilizing the track layout and sometimes even using feints to throw you off. The page features screenshots showing Sonic pursuing characters like Amy, Tails, and Knuckles. The accompanying text describes the experience,
noting that characters with lower top speed or grip, like Amy and Dr. Eggman, can sometimes be surprisingly easy to catch. Conversely, characters like Knuckles, who run away skillfully and use the course's alternate paths, can be quite frustrating to tag. It highlights the feeling of playing a real game of tag, expressing annoyance when a character narrowly escapes. The text suggests strategies for catching opponents, such as using different routes to cut them off, or waiting at exits of areas like loops, emphasizing that successful tagging often requires smart course navigation and anticipation. This page is your essential guide to getting started in Let's Make a Soccer Club. 2. The deep and engaging sports training simulation for the SEGA Saturn. With the game nearing release, this feature dives into the critical first year, offering players a roadmap to success. It walks you through the initial setup steps, starting with naming your club and selecting your personal assistant, choosing your uniform, and importantly, picking your hometown. The choice of hometown significantly impacts your club through factors like land prices and local soccer popularity. The guide then immediately thrusts you into the initial JFL matches. Be warned, performance here is critical, as losing too many of these opening games can lead to an early game over. To survive and thrive, the page emphasizes the need to strategically manage your player's condition using special adjustment, and motivates them further by setting victory premiums. The bottom of the page showcases various tactical formations and styles, offering a glimpse into the strategic depth available to shape your team's play on the pitch. This feature makes it clear that success in the first year requires careful planning and execution. This guide provides strategies for the crucial first year of Let's Make a Soccer Club. 2. Focusing on player development over immediate wins. Key advice includes securing long-term sponsor contracts and hiring an affordable manager and an Asia-focused scout. The edit player feature is explained, emphasizing keywords and reflection rate for player growth. The guide emphasizes the importance of early supporter club funding. An annual schedule outlines key events, including the Asia Winter League, J.League stages, friendlies, and cup tournaments. Financial constraints necessitate utilizing early tournaments for income. Prioritizing player condition and development over winning is crucial, particularly during league stages. The guide also provides visual aids such as screenshots of contract and player management screens. This guide to Let's Make a Soccer Club. 2 focuses on player development and club management during the challenging first year. A phased training approach is key. Stamina for 23 months, individual skills for another 23, and tactics for 24. Managing player relationships is paramount. Address dissatisfaction promptly through trades or manager changes, and hold regular team meetings to monitor morale. Maintain the training ground to avoid injuries. Appoint a veteran captain and acquire veterans to boost morale. Develop players by addressing weaknesses first. Crucially, establish the club's strategic direction early on, including its system, defense, and tactics, to guide training and build team identity. This page features the 13th installment of the developer interview series for J.League Pro Soccer Club, O Tsukuru. 2. Focusing on strategy for the crucial first year. Producer Minoru Matsuura and main programmer Akihito Wada share their insights. They emphasize that gathering information and analyzing data is key in the first year. Managing player dissatisfaction through regular meetings and understanding the reasons behind it is vital. Sometimes a simple change in combination resolves issues, while other times trades are necessary. Training should be strategic, with an initial focus on stamina. Scouting effectively to find suitable players is also important, but they note that high-level scouting might be overkill initially. The developers stress the importance of winning games to boost player stats and club status, suggesting players analyze matches carefully for details like who takes corner kicks or which players tire easily. Setting a clear team strategy, including the system and tactics, is essential from the start to guide training and player acquisition. They mention that building a truly strong team takes time, even for the developers themselves. The page includes portraits of both Mr. Matsuura and Mr. Wada. This page features Jikyu Powerful Pro Yakyu S, the Saturn entry in Konami's beloved baseball series, scheduled for release on December 4, 1997. Presented as a coming soon soft highlight, it boasts a 100% completion rate, supporting 2-player versus mode, and recommended for all ages. The main focus is on 3 ways to play Power Pro to the max, offering insights beyond just simple gameplay. The first method highlighted is competing with friends in versus or league mode. The piece emphasizes that while winning is key, The real fun comes from strategic play, carefully selecting your favorite team and players, and experiencing the psychological battles of pitching and batting. It touches upon the depth of team management, from setting the starting lineup based on ideal combinations rather than just stats, to reflecting on real-life team frustrations. The second section dives into the detail of deciding your starting lineup, emphasizing it's a point where players can really express their personal attachment to the team and strategy by considering player condition, position, and batting order. Finally, the third method explores the captivating back-and-forth struggle between pitcher and batter. The article praises the game's ability to capture this strategic duel, noting the satisfaction in outwitting your opponent and appreciating the detailed player animations. Screenshots showcase the game's perspective during gameplay, including the batting view, a strike call, and menu screens for lineup management, illustrating the depth discussed. This article explores different ways to enjoy JIKU Powerful Pro Yakyu S beyond single matches. Pennant Race Mode offers a season-long experience, allowing players to manage a team through a full season, simulating games while focusing on strategic choices. Players can even automate the entire process and simply observe. CPU versus CPU games are another option, allowing for interactive management. Players can set options to only intervene in key moments, feeling like a manager influencing the game's flow. Finally, the article introduces the Success Mode, new to the Saturn, where players train original players, promising detailed insights in the next issue. Screenshots showcase pennant race standings, stats, and managerial intervention options. This page features a preview of the tactical adventure game Galaxy Fräulein Yuna 3, Lightning Angel. The article highlights the game's premise. Yuna and her companions travel into space to stop a massive missile called Tenka, launched by the mechanized empire. Their journey takes them to various planets where intense Six Flowers battles constantly occur. A new character, Bai Xiang, Paishan, a mechanized person, is introduced. She joins Yuna's group, but there are mysteries surrounding her connection to the enemy empire. Unlike previous installments where newly introduced characters were primarily antagonists, this game features original characters like Bai Xiang, who will fight alongside Yuna. The article emphasizes that fierce battles are inevitable, as new game original characters continue to appear. The game, developed by Hudson, is a tactical adventure, and is listed as 100% complete, scheduled for release soon. This page continues the preview for Galaxy Fräulein Yuna 3, Lightning Angel, delving further into the plot and introducing new characters and gameplay elements. After being thrown into a different dimension by the Mechanical Emperor, Yuna and her friends encounter the mysterious, beautiful girl, Bai Xiang. She aids them in a crisis, and the story hints at her connection to ancient entities known as the Three Wise Machines, one of whom is currently imprisoned. Yuna's group realizes they must search for these machines. Following their escape from the Phantom ship, Bai Xiang officially joins the party. However, the road ahead is tough, as they face the Four Heavenly Kings, described as even more formidable than the Six Flowers from earlier in the game. Battles are expected to be challenging. Bai Xiang's combat data reveals she's a level 11 character with skills like electromagnetic beam and charge life, making her a potentially crucial support unit with decent offensive capability, especially against the Four Heavenly Kings. The article also highlights a minigame involving chasing after the large cat character Milky, guided by his meows. Screenshots show gameplay from the tactical battle system and character portraits, including dialogue from Bai Xiang and Yuna, reflecting the suspicion directed at Bai Xiang despite her aid. The page emphasizes that Bai Xiang's information confirms the severity of the upcoming battles. This page reveals the destination of Yuna and her crew, the fortress planet known as Tenmei Star. This planet serves as a crucial relay base for the Mechanical Empire, and is the key to stopping the giant missile Tenka. Taking on this heavily fortified base with a small group is a difficult task. The strategy devised involves splitting the party into two teams, one led by Yuna and the other by Polyusrina, to advance simultaneously. The magazine emphasizes that once the teams are split, the lineup cannot be changed, making careful consideration of each team's balance, particularly healers and ranged fighters, critical to success. Yuna's team enters the fortress from the hangar, aiming to reach the missile command room, but they face constant battles. Polyrena's team attempts a stealthier infiltration through a weapon warehouse, meant to take advantage of the distraction caused by Yuna's group. However, they are also quickly discovered and must fight their way through the enemy forces. Screenshots illustrate the layout of the fortress and the tactical battles faced by both teams. Dialogue from characters like Elna, Misaki, and Polyrena hints at the challenge ahead and the nature of the enemy stronghold, including evidence of weapon manufacturing. Successfully navigating and conquering both paths is essential to proceed. This page dives into the backstory of the conflict in Galaxy Fraulein Yuna 3, Lightning Angel, with Misaki narrating the history of the Machinery Empire and the legendary battle between the White Emperor and the Black Emperor. We learn that the Empire was once peaceful, but was devastated by the Black Emperor's arrival. The White Emperor, aided by his ministers, the Left Minister Kenshu and Right Minister Kumai, fought and managed to seal the powerful Black Emperor, bringing a period of peace to the galaxy. However, the Black Emperor has now revived, revealing him to be the current ruler of the hostile Machinery Empire that Yuna and her allies are facing. The page features striking character art of the White Emperor, Kenshu, and Kumei, highlighting these pivotal figures in the game's lore, and a final image of Yuna showing her resolve. This page features Lunar, Magic School, highlighting the game reaching its 4th chapter and introducing combined magic. Published by Kadokawa Shoten/Especially, the game is set to release on November 20th for 6,800 yen and is rated as an RPG recommended for all ages. The developer notes that combined magic is a new element not found in other games, encouraging players to experiment. The page provides a full view of the Academy Town, showing the setting for the adventure. It also looks back at the characters' initial struggles upon entering the academy, including arguments over room arrangements, which are depicted in a screenshot. A new character, Blade, makes an appearance, described as a muscular youth, who delivers a message to the protagonist, leading to a new development. The page also introduces Stella, the dormitory mother, known for her encouraging nature and excellent cooking, making her a character that might quickly endear herself to the main trio. The illustrations and screenshots showcase the game's vibrant art style and characters. This page delves further into Lunar, Magic School, focusing on the progression of the story and gameplay. It highlights the combined magic training with Mr. Jason, which proves challenging, particularly involving Ellie's flying ability. Things take a turn when the jealous Dan interferes, drawing the party, including Blade, into a dangerous man's dungeon. Navigating the dungeon presents several tough challenges, or gates, featuring enemies like the Red Dragon and multiple grizzly bears. The party also faces environmental puzzles, like a rock blockage, and character conflicts, such as Lena and Blade getting into a fight. The dungeon culminates in a boss battle against a creature called Gear. Standard attacks are ineffective, requiring the team to devise a new strategy, leading to Ellie's proposal to finally attempt the combined magic learned with Mr. Jason, which proves successful. Interestingly, the page also details encounters with Blade outside the dungeon sequence, showing the party fighting him multiple times. After being defeated 3 times, Blade joins the group, suggesting a shift from rivalry to alliance. A new combined technique, the Blade Launcher, is mentioned, likely a result of these developments. A new character, Mr. Hyde, is introduced. He's an astronomy teacher who prefers solitude in his tower, completely absorbed in his research. The page sets up ongoing challenges and reveals that combined magic is a key new mechanic players will need to master. This page dives into the unique magic spells found exclusively in the SEGA Saturn version of Vandal Hearts. It showcases several original abilities designed to give players new tactical options on the battlefield. First up is Eagle Fly, an aggressive single-target spell where a multitude of eagles are summoned, culminating in one striking down an enemy. Next is Skeleton Killer, which, despite its name, is effective against various foes. This visually striking spell sees the screen dim before a massive, fearsome mouth appears to devour the target. The page also introduces Shine Core, a fascinating spell whose power scales with the number of nearby allies. The caster generates an energy core, and allies sacrifice their own vitality to boost its destructive force. For crowd control, there's Happy Dream, a deceptively named spell that paralyzes all enemies within its radius, proving particularly useful when facing large groups later in the game. Finally, Run Out Peak unleashes a localized earthquake, raining rocks down on enemies over a wide area. This spell is highlighted as having a large range and low MP cost, making it a valuable asset for characters less suited for direct magical attacks. Details on each spell's range, effect area, MP cost, and required learning level are provided, giving players a clear understanding of their tactical application. These additions showcase Konami's effort to make the Saturn version a distinct experience for fans of the tactical RPG. This page delves into strategic tips for the SEGA Saturn version of Vandal Hearts as its release approaches. It confirms the game is a simulation RPG from Konami, set to release on November 27th for 4,800 yen, and is recommended for all ages. The article notes the Saturn version includes new elements like a new opening and original magic, suggesting a smooth story progression and highlighting the appealing price. The page showcases several of these unique spells. Double Impact is a flashy attack where the caster hits the enemy twice.
Apollo surprisingly launches foes high into the sky.
Astral Fire boasts an incredible range of 10, unleashing fire towards enemies. Finally, Twin Flying Azure Dragon summons 2 blue dragons for an attack that feels like an icy counterpart to the Salamander spell, though it has the highest MP cost among those shown here, indicating immense power. Building on the new spells, the article details changes in how characters learn magic. It explains that depending on a character's class progression, some spells learned in the original PlayStation version are replaced by these new Saturn-exclusive abilities, or even spells introduced on the previous page. For example, Elena's Deadly Poison can become Apollo's depending on her class path.
And Hulkus might learn Shinecore or Skeleton Killer instead of Holy Pressure or Perfect Guard. This mechanic adds a layer of difference to character builds in the Saturn version. This guide offers strategic advice and story progression details for Vandal Hearts on SEGA Saturn. Analyzing enemy behavior reveals aggressive and defensive patterns. Key strategies include avoiding solo units and keeping weaker characters protected, as enemies target vulnerable targets. Splitting forces is recommended against magic-using bosses. The optimal attack sequence involves buffing allies, using area of effect magic, following up with ranged attacks, and prioritizing healing. The guide then progresses to the narrative, covering Chapter 4 and introducing locations like Kanos, Great Maasai Forest, and Fort Dine, setting up Chapter 5. It recounts the Ishutalia Empire's rise and the Resistance's fight. The Crimson leaders face the Imperial army near Kanos, with a screenshot hinting at deception. In the Great Maasai Forest, the sorcerer Gamo emerges, with his former disciple, Samdera, joining the party to confront him. This page continues the comprehensive guide for Vandal Hearts on the SEGA Saturn. It offers valuable tips on earning experience points, explaining that Express is gained from successful actions like attacking or recovering, with bonuses for defeating higher-level enemies or using recovery magic effectively. The guide also strongly recommends using the Continue Save feature strategically, particularly before risky attacks, but warns against saving in unwinnable situations. Further gameplay advice suggests keeping weaker units protected and being cautious with overly powerful characters, as enemy AI often targets vulnerable units and can focus fire, leading to unexpected defeats. The guide then moves into the narrative walkthrough, covering key events after the previous chapter. The party arrives in the trading city of Karachi, meeting Cruz, an informant who aids the Liberation Army. Their search for the King's Ring leads them to a dark deals warehouse, Battle 22, where they face a powerful monster summoned by Gamo. The story continues to the Magic Railroad Station, Battle 23, where the Imperial Army attempts to stop them by decoupling trains, and then to the Execution Device, Battle 24, where they must fight to rescue Lean, a character central to the plot. These sections highlight dramatic moments, including Cruz's parent-child bond with Hosty, and Ash's determination to save Lean, even if it means sacrificing the ring. The overall tone emphasizes the challenging journey and critical decisions faced by the heroes. This page delves deeper into the mechanics and story of Vandal Hearts. It begins by explaining the crucial role of magic in battle, highlighting attack, support, and recovery magic. Different range patterns are illustrated, showing how magic can affect single units, areas around the caster, or wider areas. The guide details the functions of each magic type and the relationship between the mage, priest, and warrior classes, emphasizing that priests and warriors are particularly good for gaining experience using support and recovery magic. The page then transitions to the game's walkthrough, detailing the progress through Chapter 5 and into Chapter 6. The route takes the party through places like Walt Cove, Pioneer Village Salber, the Torn Valley,
and the border village. The narrative section titled, The Flame of Judgment in the Hands of Evil,
hints at a significant plot point involving Hells and the murder of Dolph.
The new development section describes the party's journey to the Torn Valley, a natural stronghold, in search of the King's Ring. They face monsters in Battle 25, and then encounter Coots, the Crimson Leader, in Battle 26. The guide concludes this section with the party reaching a desolate border village, where Elena falls ill due to the strange, warm climate. This page offers essential tips and continues the walkthrough for Vandal Hearts. The top section provides 8 key points to make playing easier, including advice on managing equipment and talking to townspeople, how dialogue choices can influence the story flow, the importance of exploring suspicious map locations for items or money, the significant advantage of attacking enemies from behind, and how unit height affects arrow range. It also hints at the existence of hidden stages and the rewards found within them. There's a crucial tip for leveling up low-level characters by repeatedly casting support magic in Battle 10. The bottom part details recent story events and battles. It covers Battle 27, where the party meets Rena, Battle 29, where they face the Crimson Leader Sabini, and Battle 30 at Lake Oloy, related to the Flame of Judgment. Battle 28 takes place in the Burning Abyss as a trial. The narrative sections discuss obtaining the powerful Vandal Hearts weapon, revealing Rena's true identity, and the history of the Graph people. The page concludes by announcing the party is heading towards the final chapter, suggesting the fight against Dolph and the Empire is imminent, and ends with the game's title screen, indicating completion. This page features the 3D fighting game Zero Divide, The Final Conflict. The striking header displays the game's title along with dynamic artwork of the robot characters. The page provides a detailed look at the game's mechanics and features. Featured sections cover the game's concept, describing a virtual reality world where fighting programs called Zero Divide TFC battle. Key gameplay systems highlighted include the armor system, where armor visibly breaks off upon taking damage, reducing durability, the hang system for comeback opportunities, and the ab mode, a power-up system providing a temporary attack boost. The basic controls are explained as standard fighting game inputs: punch, kick, guard, with the addition of axis movement. The flat mode is activated by simultaneously pressing up plus guard, and is effective for launching opponents. The page also includes a command list for the character Zero, detailing special moves and combinations with their command inputs, attack direction, damage values, and effects like knocking down or canceling. There's a guide on how to read the command list, explaining notations for direction, attack types, and effects. A brief developer comment mentions the game is a port from another console, but has been improved for the Saturn, aiming for a friendly yet deep experience. Screenshots show gameplay in action, and a character selection screen, indicating the variety of fighters. The game is listed as a 3D fighting game supporting 12 players, set for release on November 20th. This page continues the look at the fighting game Zero Divide, The Final Conflict, focusing on more of the diverse robot combatants. Detailed command lists are presented for 4 additional characters: the powerful Tau, the heavy-hitting Wild 3, the counter-focused Eos, and the fast and long-reaching I.O. Providing a handy guide for players, a section highlights the core strengths of each fighter. Zero, as seen previously, is described as a standard type with a broad range of attacks. Tau boasts high-power moves despite a smaller move list. Wild 3 utilizes heavy weapons and excels in multi-hit combos. Elios is noted for versatile throws and extensive counter options. Finally, Io is characterized by speed and attacks with impressive range, offering varied combinations. These descriptions give players a quick insight into the fighting styles of each character, helping them choose who best fits their playstyle. The page serves as an essential reference for mastering these unique fighters in Zero Divide's virtual arena. This page gives us a closer look at the upcoming SEGA Saturn title, Next King, Koi no Sen, Nen, Ukoku. This game is a unique blend of romance simulation and strategic competition, where you play as one of 4 princes vying for the throne. The key to becoming king is winning the hearts and votes of 12 different girls over the course of a year. The gameplay is divided throughout the week. From Monday to Wednesday, you'll spend time in the castle town, building relationships with the girls through interactions and giving gifts. The latter half of the week, from Thursday to Sunday, shifts to adventure. You'll explore dungeons and areas with one of the girls, completing objectives and battling enemies, which helps increase her affection towards you. The article highlights the competitive aspect among the princes, making it more than just a typical dating sim. It uses a diary format to illustrate the gameplay flow, showing a sample entry focusing on an adventure in the fairy forest with the character Chikori. The page also points out the distinct cover illustrations for the standard and limited editions of the game, noting they are based on the character art shown. Releasing on November 20th by Bandai, it's described as a love simulation supporting 14 players and suitable for all ages. The game's events, recounted through the prince's diary, showcase key dates in Next King, Koi no Sen nen Ukoku. Valentine's Day involves chocolate gifts, including those from saffron, with a chance of stomach upset, fennel, and chicory. A martial arts tournament in March sees the prince win with caramel, revealing her unwavering devotion. June 17th marks a disastrous adventure, with excessive monster encounters and a rival prince's ambush. August 5th brings a refreshing beach trip to Mermaid Island and swimsuit viewing. The text also highlights the saffron check, demonstrating that affection with a girl improves standing with her friends. These events capture essential relationship dynamics in the game's year-long structure. This page is all about the SEGA Saturn game, Ninja Penmaru. It highlights the game's presentation, which features plenty of anime cutscenes and even CG in the opening demo. The story sequences, chapter introductions, and pre-boss battle scenes are all shown through colorful 2D animation, using the same voice actors as the popular TV anime series. The game follows Penmaru as he embarks on a training journey at the behest of Nenga-sama. Along the way, he'll face off against various rivals. The text emphasizes that defeating these rivals in boss battles is crucial for Penmaru to advance to the next stage. The first boss, Tatataru, is specifically mentioned, and his battle is surprisingly decided by who collects the most coins. It sounds like a fun and faithful adaptation of the anime. The next page features the SEGA Saturn game, Ninja Penmaru. This full polygon action game from Enix is set to release on December 18th for 6,800 yen, suitable for all ages, and is a single-player experience. The page details the game's stages and various gimmicks.
There are 6 main stages, each comprised of 4 areas. Penmaru's training journey takes him through diverse environments, including the grassy Stage 1, caves, suspension bridges, ice levels, sky stages, and culminates at the ninja residence. The stages are filled with items like coins and cloud balls, including a special super coin worth 10 regular coins. An interesting mechanic highlighted is the Bullet Rescue stage. If Penmaru fails his training and runs out of lives, he can challenge Bullet in a special stage. With Bullet, winning this coin collection battle against Bullet allows the player to continue their training journey. The page also showcases some of the level gimmicks, such as the mark, which triggers something when stepped on, and fast-moving belt conveyors. Screenshots display the vibrant stage design, the item collection, the mark, belt conveyors, and a glimpse of the Bullet Rescue stage arena featuring the character Bullet himself. A brief comment from the developer praises the game's 3D action and CG movies. This page features the SEGA Saturn game, Super Real Mahjong Adventure, The Throbbing Nightmare, an upcoming romance adventure title from Jaleco. Scheduled for release in December 1997, this 18+ rated game will span 2 CD-ROMs and cost 6,800 yen. The preview highlights new details about the game's system and story. The premise involves the protagonist, Kimiya, and Kyoko Misono, who live at a shrine. A dream demon named Rim appears and begins putting girls into a dream-induced sleep with her kiss. The player must spend 1 week trying to thwart Rim's influence, visiting various girls to raise their affection levels. Success leads to a confession scene with the chosen girl after the week of nightmares. The story can change depending on the player's actions, and with 13 potential romantic interests, seeing all paths is a significant undertaking. 2 characters are specifically introduced. Ninomiya Kotori, described as a determined and slightly unusual girl who falls for the protagonist at first sight, and Rinjim, the dream demon whose kiss traps girls in dreams. Screenshots show isometric views of game environments, including the You and Me store stage where the player can obtain information from Kyoko, and the protagonist's own cluttered room, which serves as his base. The game's developer comments suggest it focuses on character depth within the adventure format, moving beyond the series' traditional mahjong elements. This page delves deeper into the systems of Super Real Mahjong Adventure, The Throbbing Nightmare. It details the game's movement system, which uses two distinct map types. Players navigate a global map of Kamiyoga, and entering specific buildings or locations transitions them to a more detailed, localized map. The system is illustrated with screenshots showing the overall town map and a detailed view of Mai's apartment. The flow of the game is also explained, noting how buildings are clearly marked on the global map, and how entering some locations might lead directly into an event or conversation scene. Smooth scrolling and animation are highlighted as features of these interaction sequences. Furthermore, the page outlines the dynamic time system within the game. Time constantly flows in Kamiyoga, affecting the graphical appearance of the town throughout the morning, day, evening, and night. This passage of time is crucial, as some events are hinted to occur only at specific hours. Players are encouraged to use their time wisely to protect the girls and uncover clues, emphasizing that wasted actions should be avoided. The page features character art and screenshots demonstrating the maps at different times of day. Bandit Kings of Ancient China, Suikoden, Tenmei no Chikai, by Koei, offers a unique scenario where the 108 heroes unite at Liangshanpo. This console version features original content and adjusted AI, making it more extensive than the PC release. The game is designed with an accessible difficulty for newcomers to real-time strategy games. The game's graphics showcase dynamic weather effects that impact fortress management and the appearance of maps. Players must consider various land types when building facilities. The game features strategic map screenshots, event scenes, and interface details. Scheduled for release on December 18th for 7,800 yen, and recommended for all ages, the publisher assures a complete and enjoyable experience for both veteran and new players. This page details an additional scenario for Koei's Bandit Kings of Ancient China, where players must defend against invading foreign tribes and the corruption of the official Gao Kui. The scenario map is shown, depicting various factions. Profiles are provided for key powers, including Liangshan under Songjiang, known for its vast number of heroes and strong position, and the four rebels factions, led by Tianhu, Wang Qing, and Fang La, each with varying strengths and strategic locations. Also featured is the foreign tribe leader Qiyu, presented as the shadow protagonist of this scenario, whose force is small but comprises excellent individuals. While the corrupt official Gao Kui is involved in the conflict, the page notes that his faction is significantly weaker in this game iteration compared to previous titles, although he retains influence due to the Emperor's backing. A notable gameplay feature highlighted is that domestic affairs, warfare, and all other commands are handled on a single screen, giving players direct control over their heroes without needing to switch interfaces. Aside from dedicated battle scenes, screenshots illustrate this unified view and the strategic map. This page introduces Transport Tycoon, a simulation game where you manage a transportation company over a span of 100 in-game years. As time passes, both the cities and available transportation methods evolve dramatically. The core gameplay involves building and managing various transport networks, roads, railways, air, and sea, to move goods and passengers. The world within the game is dynamic. Cities develop uniquely in real time, changing their needs and the types of cargo that are in demand. Initially, basic goods might be key, but as cities grow, you'll need to transport industrial products, valuables, mails, and passengers, leading to the development of larger consumption areas. Residential and commercial buildings also change, eventually becoming high-rise structures. You aren't alone in this endeavor, as rival AI companies are actively competing for routes and resources. Their behavior can provide valuable insights as you get accustomed to the game. Transport Tycoon for the SEGA Saturn was published by Imagineer, released on November 20th for 6,800 yen. It's a simulation game for one player, recommended for all ages. The publisher mentions the game's release coincides with the Japanese economic climate, adding a layer of real-world relevance to the simulation. This page delves deeper into the world of Transport Tycoon on the SEGA Saturn, highlighting how transportation methods dramatically evolve over the game's 100-year timeline. It explains that vehicles from the 1930s are slow and inefficient, but as technology advances, players gain access to faster and more capable options, from diesel and electric trains replacing steam engines, to jet planes superseding propeller aircraft. A key mechanic discussed is vehicle durability. Older vehicles become less efficient and break down, requiring players to replace them, often opting for newer, more advanced models as they become available. The page visually demonstrates this progression by showing a single game world developing across different decades,
From the sparse landscape of the 1930s, through the establishment of rail networks in the 50s and resource exploitation in the 70s, to the development of air travel in the 90s and a bustling metropolis in the 2010s. It also breaks down the different types of transport players can utilize: automobiles, railways, aircraft, and ships. For each category, examples of vehicles from different eras are shown and briefly described, illustrating the performance improvements over time. For instance, early steam locomotives are contrasted with later diesel and electric models, and early propeller planes are compared to faster jet aircraft. This evolution is crucial for players to manage their empire effectively and adapt to the changing demands of the game world. This page presents an article by Kazutoshi Otani, focusing on an innovative, portable English word processor and keyboard called AlphaSmart. The author highlights the chronic shortage of computer access in the education sector and introduces the AlphaSmart as a potential solution, describing it as a Columbus egg in the keyboard world. The AlphaSmart, developed by Intelligent Personal Devices, is essentially a keyboard with a small LCD screen that functions as a standalone word processor. It boasts impressive battery life, running for 300 hours on 3A batteries, and includes a built-in spell checker. A key feature is its ability to connect directly to Macintosh or Windows computers via a keyboard cable, allowing users to transfer saved text data easily, or even use the AlphaSmart as a standard computer keyboard. The AlphaSmart 2000 model offers a display area of 40 characters by 4 lines. The article includes images showing the AlphaSmart product itself, examples of its use in various locations like the Sahara Desert and Mount Kilimanjaro, referencing the AlphaSmart Pro model, and screenshots of related websites. The author suggests that students could create documents on the AlphaSmart whenever they have time and then upload the text to a computer for further processing when it's available. He praises the product's simplicity and portability, suggesting that Japanese word processor manufacturers should consider creating similar devices. This page features a striking visual presentation for a section titled SEGA Saturn Soft Complete Guide. The main image showcases a powerful male character in red martial arts gear, adorned with a golden dragon emblem, set against a backdrop of a coiled, stylized golden dragon. This character is instantly recognizable from Tecmo's groundbreaking 3D fighting game, Dead or Alive. The accompanying Japanese text on the right indicates this section is dedicated to providing strategies for SEGA Saturn software that has been recently released, aiming to help players master these titles. The bottom of the page specifically lists 2 highly anticipated games that will be covered in the following pages: Layer Section 2, known internationally as Galactic Attack or Rayforce, a classic vertical scrolling shooter, and Dead or Alive, the revolutionary fighting game featuring the depicted character. It promises detailed guides for these exciting titles. This guide explores the scoring system in Layer Section 2, Rayforce, Galactic Attack, emphasizing strategic weapon use beyond simply destroying enemies. Efficient scoring relies on mastering the 3 weapon types: lock-on laser, hyper laser, and special attack. The lock-on laser rewards locking onto multiple enemies, applying a multiplier to their base score, up to x512 for Or Grey 0, x256 for Or Grey 2. Thus, the hyper laser, achieved by locking onto all targets on a single enemy, yields a x64 multiplier. The special attack, a gauge-fueled invincibility move, offers high multipliers, up to x256 for Or Grey 1. But the hits are often random. The guide highlights differences between Or Grey 1 and Or Grey 2 ship variants, along with images of each weapon. Achieving high scores requires skillful application of these weapons and understanding their associated multipliers and timing. This guide outlines scoring strategies for each Or Grey ship in Layer Section 2, building upon the game's scoring system. The Or Grey 0 relies on maximizing lock-on laser destruction, particularly on ground targets. Rapid firing is key for boss battles, prioritizing evasion. The Or Grey 1 leverages its hyper laser and special attack. Players should frequently use the hyper laser and special attack for specific targets or survival. Boss fights utilize concentrated lock-ons and normal shots. The Or Grey 2 emphasizes its high simultaneous lock-on count. Lock onto tougher enemies first to build the multiplier, then switch to weaker targets. For bosses, utilize the hyper laser and continuously add locks while attacking. Screenshots visually support these strategies, showcasing each ship's lock-on laser patterns and highlighting the importance of mastering each ship's unique capabilities. This page dives into reader-submitted combos for the SEGA Saturn fighting game, Dead or Alive. The focus is squarely on stylish and effective air combos, showcasing sequences contributed by fans. The game, released in October 1996 for 5,800 yen, is a versus fighter for all ages supporting 2 players. Featured here are combos for several key characters. Ryu Hayabusa's section highlights combos that are easy to execute and deal significant damage, though they can be susceptible to opponents using holds.
Genfu is presented with a challenging, high-damage combo, noted as a highlight and requiring skill to pull off effectively. Zack's combo is described as unique, involving turning away from the opponent before continuing the attack. Finally, Yan Li's segment focuses on practical combos that were likely introduced previously in the guide. Each character entry includes screenshots illustrating the move sequences step by step, along with the corresponding button inputs required to perform them. It's a great look at how players were pushing the game's combo system. This guide explores advanced combos for Dead or Alive on SEGA Saturn, showcasing high-damage strategies for Bayman, Kasumi, Tina, and Lei Fang. Bayman's 164 damage combo is detailed, with a practical adaptation for real match situations. Kasumi's visually impressive 149 damage combo presents a challenge, particularly in danger state. Tina's 145 damage air combo provides an alternative to throws, though it's difficult and risky. Lei Fang's 192 damage combo is the second most damaging, emphasizing the challenge of landing her double wind-piercing ear. The page acknowledges reader submissions, particularly from Japan, thanking contributors for their skilled combo discoveries. This page features a deep dive into the upcoming SEGA Saturn title, Arcana Strikes, from Red Company. Recognizing the growing trend of card games following the boom of titles like Magic, The Gathering, Red Company set out to translate that fun into a computer game format. The article includes a special discussion with the development staff, revealing their insights into creating a card game experience unique to consoles. They emphasize the appeal of a computer card game lies in elements not possible in physical games, such as the growth and class-up system for the monster cards. This system allows players to feel a strong emotional connection to their cards, akin to the bond with party members in an RPG. Screenshots showcase the game's anime-style character art and the various cards players will collect. The developers highlight the single-player experience as a key strength, stating they are confident players will enjoy building decks and adventuring with their growing card companions, mirroring the excitement of an RPG journey. Arcana Strikes, published by Takara, is set to release on December 11th. This page delves deeper into Arcana Strikes, focusing on key production elements and the development team at Red Company. A notable highlight is the game's opening narration, performed by none other than the creator, Hiroi Uji. Despite being a rushed recording done by Uji himself, the team found the result surprisingly effective and fitting for the game's atmosphere. The page also points out the game's collection of rare cards, which feature artwork from renowned artists, adding significant value and appeal to the collecting aspect. A staff roundtable discussion reveals insights into the game's internal development process, starting from simple handmade card prototypes. They discuss the game's sound, including the theme song produced by Toshio Takazawa, and the challenge of creating a battle system with engaging bosses. The developers aim to make the game accessible and enjoyable, even for players new to card games, by integrating familiar RPG elements. The page introduces 4 core members of the production team: producer Toshihiro Nagoshi, game director Masatake Okeha, programmer Hiroshi Honoma, and sound director Tomoyuki Hamada, each contributing significantly to bringing Arcana Strikes to life. A screenshot showcases the game's visual style, confirming its blend of card game mechanics with RPG adventure elements. This page from Arcade Express Volume 9 introduces new titles hitting the amusement centers. The main feature this week is Sakura Wars, Hanagumi Taisen Columns, a puzzle game featuring the beloved characters from the Sakura Wars series. It's described as a dramatic puzzle experience arriving in arcades after its success on the Saturn console. The game retains the simple, accessible rules of the Columns series, making it easy for newcomers to pick up, while techniques honed on the Saturn version can be directly applied. The development team has adjusted the game's balance specifically for competitive play, guaranteeing intense 2-player versus matches. Players are encouraged to challenge themselves and aim to become the street corner top star. The visuals and sound are faithfully brought over from the Saturn version, running on Sega's STV arcade board. Screenshots showcase the versus mode with fan-favorite characters and the puzzle gameplay itself,
highlighting the engaging presentation. The game allows for two-player battles and is classified as a dramatic puzzle game. The page includes a message from the SEGA Hanagumi Taisen Columns development team, expressing their excitement for the arcade release.
This page continues the discussion on Sakura Wars, Hanagumi Taisen Columns, posing the question, who is Cinderella? Referring to a special in-game event or mode tied to the character cast. The article details the game's core mechanics, explaining how players can send timed gems to disrupt opponents, attack, clear gems from their own field to recover, defense, and accumulate power to use magic gems. These special gems have unique effects, like clearing all gems of the same color below them when dropped. The focus then shifts to the versus modes. There's an Interruption 2P versus mode, common in arcades, where a new player can jump in and challenge the current player. The winner continues their game. It mentions that some CPU opponents might be challenging, particularly highlighting Ikki Yoneda as potentially the strongest CPU. There's also a fun 2P versus mode recommended for playing with friends. This mode allows for difficulty settings across 5 levels and involves a best-of-3 match format. The article suggests choosing characters with low gem counts if you plan on long matches. Overall, the page highlights the strategic depth beyond simple gem matching, emphasizing the use of abilities and the excitement of competitive play. This page features an interview with the development staff behind Winter Heat from SEGA AM3 R&D Department 3. The article is provocatively titled, "Actually, the entire development staff are fans of the previous game," referring to Decathlete. Lead programmer Yasuhiro Sugawara discusses the pressure and excitement of developing Winter Heat, noting the team's admiration for its predecessor. Despite being fans, they explain that adapting Decathlete's formula for winter sports was a significant undertaking, requiring much of the game, especially the core mechanics for the different events, to be built from the ground up. They touch upon reusing some elements, like character models from Decathlete, but emphasize the need for entirely new graphical assets and programming due to the unique demands of each Winter Heat sport. The interview provides insight into the team's dedication and the technical challenges overcome to create the game. The next page features an interview with the director, Katsumoto Tachikawa, and graphics lead, Masanori Ooe, for Winter Heat. Tachikawa expresses confidence in the game's events, though notes the challenge of making speed skating enjoyable. He details the simplified control scheme, aiming for accessibility across different age groups. He mentions the new character as a key feature and highlights the difficulty of adapting real sports mechanics into game design. OOE explains the development process involved gathering extensive video and interview materials to capture the feel of each sport. While motion capture was used for some aspects, most event movements were hand-animated. He notes the difficulty in finding reference material for less visible actions, like pre-start waiting or post-finish movements. Ukio describes lively discussions about the new character, whose backstory and ending were carefully considered. Both agree that translating the nuances of real sports into engaging gameplay, particularly the downhill nature of many winter events, presented significant challenges. They strongly state that the game is even more fun than the previous title, Decathlete. The page also shows the muscular Macho Gaiden character from the game. The next page dives deep into the world of Cyber Troopers Virtualon, presenting Volume 37 of a recurring feature written by Suzuki German. This installment focuses heavily on community engagement, featuring a segment dedicated to gathering alms from readers, which translates into sharing fan letters, discussions, and artistic contributions related to the game. The highlight is the This Week's VR Bishujo Laboratory, a section showcasing fan art, often depicting characters, including the mechs or virtuoids, with a focus on female interpretations or pilots. The illustrations feature various characters, like Dulcus and Dolerns, along with discussions referencing virtuoids, such as Pow and Viper. The text also touches on other characters and concepts, bringing up names like Temjin and Raiden from Virtualon, and even referencing characters like Ilka and the Jupiter/Judgment boss from Virtua Fighter, illustrating the interconnected fandom within Sega games. The author and readers engage in spirited discussions, even drawing parallels to characters from other media like Legend of the Galactic Heroes, showcasing the passionate and diverse interests of the Virtualon community. This page features an extra edition of Hajime Kotoki's Enthu Dojo, documenting a visit to the Tokyo Motor Show. The page showcases various concept cars and models from the event, accompanied by commentary from Hajime Kotoki and Suzuki German,
who continue their discussion from the previous page. They review cars like the Toyota NC250, Suzuki C2 concept, jokingly compared to Temjin from Virtual On, Honda JWJ, Chrysler Phaeton, Mitsubishi Tetra, Mitsubishi HSRVI, and Mercedes A-Class, offering their enthusiastic opinions and making humorous observations, such as comparing a car to a taxi or an amusement park attraction. The page includes sections highlighting the Kotoki Enthus Award for notable cars and features, Best of Showgirl, and Best of Show. Sections showcasing standout models and concept vehicles. The bottom section provides contact information for reader submissions to the magazine. This page features the SEGA AM2 Official Corner, Volume 76, focusing on the Virtua Strikers Cup 97. The main report covers the tournament, including the Tokyo preliminary round. Photos show the lively atmosphere with many participants and spectators gathered at the Tokyo Joyopolis venue. The tournament proceeded in a tense knockout format, with some players excelling under pressure while others struggled. The section highlights the winners of the Tokyo preliminaries. Ichiro Ueda took first place using Spain, Takayuki Gunji was second with Germany, and Makoto Furuhashi secured third place with South Korea. The page also includes a section titled, Binchan's Goal, Everyone Gather, quote, suggesting a recurring feature or special segment related to the event. Overall, it's a straightforward report detailing the initial stages and results of the Virtua Striker 2 tournament. The next page continues the coverage of the Virtua Strikers Cup 97, showcasing the main national tournament where top players from across the country competed. The event featured intense league matches, with every game being a tight contest where a single mistake could decide the outcome. The tournament culminated in a final match between the Fukuoka representative and the Tokyo representative. The ultimate champion of the Virtua Strikers Cup 97 was Ichiro Ueda, representing Tokyo and using the Spain team, who completed an undefeated run including the Tokyo preliminaries. Kazuki Hanada, representing Yokohama and using England, secured second place. The page includes a general review from producer Toru Mifune, reflecting on the tournament. Additionally, there's a big present section, offering rare goods, including an original watch, team uniforms from various countries like Spain and Sweden, and soccer spikes. These were presented to tournament winners, and are now being offered to readers through an application process. Photos show the champion and runner-up, Mifune performing on a guitar, and the prizes. This page is an announcement for the official guidebook for the game. J.League. Let's make a professional soccer club. 2. This guide, specifically the Management Edition, is timed to release alongside the game on November 20th. It's aimed at players who want to become the best club managers, promising to cover everything about team management, making it accessible even to beginners. The guide includes detailed explanations of player development using sample patterns, and contains extensive player, manager, and scout data, uniquely researched by the editorial team. It also highlights playing in edit mode and the return of legendary players. Additionally, it announces a separate complete data edition guide scheduled for release later, at the end of December. The page features the game's title logo prominently, with the number 2, icons representing game elements like a power gym, clubhouse, and money, and an illustration of a female character, likely an assistant or character from the game. The publisher is SoftBank Corporation's publishing division. This page features a recurring segment focused on the game developer Elf, with this being the third installment of Zoom In Elf. The main highlight is an interview or reflection from Kimiko Furuyama, the voice actress for the character Yuno in the popular visual novel Yuno, a girl who chants love at the bound of this world. Kimiko talks about the experience of playing Yuno herself, noting how she got so absorbed she played for 8 hours straight, far exceeding her planned 3 hours. She expresses her joy at being able to hear the voices and acting of other voice actors, something she finds particularly exciting as a voice actor fan herself. She also mentions receiving encouraging postcards from fans, which she cherishes. The page also includes other features related to Elf and Yuno, such as a queue and a section where questions from readers are addressed, a segment hinting at a newly revealed poster related to the game, and an Elf message board for fan interaction and information sharing. It's clear the segment aims to bring fans closer to the world of Elf and their latest hit, Unino. This page features an essay by Professor Fuse, reflecting on his experience with SEGA Rally Championship. He was prompted to play by a reader's letter and found it enjoyable. Rather than focusing on racing, the professor describes exploring the game's environments, particularly the Yosemite forest and desert courses. He notes the game's freedom of movement, allowing the player to drive wherever they wish, even going in reverse, which is highlighted by the prominent, quote, "driving in reverse," text in the screenshot. Professor Fuse experiments with the controls, finding a way to move slowly like jogging to better appreciate the detailed scenery. A stark contrast to the typical high-speed racing gameplay. He emphasizes that the game allows for personal discoveries and ways to enjoy it beyond its intended purpose. The page includes a screenshot of SEGA Rally Championship showing the in-game view with UE elements and the "driving in reverse" message, as well as a smaller image depicting a 4x4 vehicle on a log bridge, illustrating the professor's real-life adventures in Africa, which he likens to the game's intensity. A section about Weekly Fuse Academia introduces the author, Professor Fuse, a scholar and writer, providing brief context for his musings. This page features the weekly horoscope section by Hakozaki no Haha, a popular astrologer with over 20 years of experience, who apparently spends her days listening to the troubles of the magazine's editorial staff. The horoscopes cover the week from November 14th to November 20th. Featured as This Week's Lucky Person is Seri Shimazuma from Tokimeki Memorial Drama Series Volume 1, Nijino Saki. The text describes her as someone who is having a complicated love life this week, but is advised that mutual respect and charismatic speech will help. A screenshot from the game showing Siri is included. Below this, general lucky points are listed. Money luck advises caution with spending. Health luck is good, with no particular issues. Work and study luck are improving with increased motivation. Love luck warns against getting involved in love triangles. The main part of the page presents horoscopes for all 12 zodiac signs, each with a small character illustration, differentiated by gender, boy, and girl. Each sign's section provides specific advice and lists lucky items or colors for the week. This section is the core of the weekly fortune-telling. This page is dedicated to reader-submitted secret techniques for SEGA Saturn games, featuring the Ultimate Secret Techniques Corner. Prizes are offered for the best submissions, including Saturn software and book tokens. The first featured technique is for Steve Sloperiders, revealing how to access extra characters and extra courses. By holding the L or R buttons while selecting characters or course types, players can unlock additional content. The page includes screenshots showing gameplay and unlocked characters. The second technique is for Tactical Fighter. This section explains how to view hidden graphics within the game. On the title screen, players must input the directional pad sequence, up, down, left, right, 5 times. This command allows access to graphics not normally seen during gameplay, including some character illustrations. Finally, the page includes a section encouraging readers to submit their own secret techniques for any SEGA Saturn software, providing the address for submissions. This page is the SEGA Saturn Soft Review section, focusing on pre-release software coming out in the next week. It features reviews from female users, high rollers, and guest writers. The first game reviewed is the Team Management Simulation Formula Grand Prix. Reviewers generally found managing the team interesting, and one noted improved graphics and processing speed compared to a PlayStation version. However, criticisms included a lack of detail in Formula 1 mechanics like tire strategy and unrealistic compromises, as well as potential for repetitive gameplay in the race view and poor balance in the late game. The game received an average score of 6.00. The second game is the adventure title, Tutankhamun's Mystery Ankh, based on Egyptian themes. While one reviewer praised the beautiful graphics and traditional adventure structure, giving it a score of 8, others found the game confusing, with unclear objectives and frustrating navigation. The use of real visuals was mentioned, but some felt it lacked engaging gameplay. The game received a lower average score of 5.00, with one reviewer giving it a 3, and not recommending it even to Egypt enthusiasts. A short section provides brief personal comments from some of the reviewers, mentioning their preferences for game genres like puzzle or action games, and thoughts on other titles they are currently playing. This page features reviews for several upcoming SEGA Saturn games. First up is Okage Designer, Tsukutepon, a tool that lets you create your own falling block puzzle games. Reviewers noted the concept was interesting, allowing players to delve into game creation. While simple to use, some found the depth limited, resulting in a score of 5.00.
Next is J.League Pro Soccer Club wo Tsukuru
2. The latest entry in the Soccer Club Management Simulation series. This title received very positive feedback, particularly for its deep club management, player development, and the realism in how the team evolves. The ability to edit players was highlighted as a fun addition, contributing to its high average score of 9.00. Finally, we have Zero Divide, the Final Conflict, a 3D fighting game.
Players familiar with the Virtua Fighter series will find the controls intuitive.
While the robot combat theme and cyber atmosphere were appreciated, some found the gameplay mechanics, like attack hitboxes, unclear, and the character roster somewhat lacking. It earned an average score of 6.66. This page features reviews for 3 diverse upcoming titles on the Sega Saturn. First up is Transport Tycoon, the classic logistics simulation games. While it aims to recreate complex transport networks with deep systems, reviewers found aspects like the map and controls confusing, especially noting the lack of mouse support as a significant drawback. Despite the potential for long-term play, the technical and interface issues resulted in average scores around 5 or 6. Next is Next King, Koi no Seinen Ukoku, a unique game-blending dating simulation, RPG, and board game elements. The goal is to become king by winning the affection of different girls. Reviewers enjoyed the anime presentation and character interactions, though the dice-driven gameplay for movement and battles received mixed feedback. This charming title generally scored in the 6 to 7 range.
Finally, we look at Mass Destruction, a tank shooter that emphasizes explosive action.
Players take control of a tank to complete various missions in destructible environments. While the visceral thrill of destruction and powerful sound design were highlights, reviewers had differing opinions on the gameplay's impact and the tank controls, leading to a wide range of scores between 4 and 7. Despite a simple premise, the execution seemed to divide critics.
This page lays out the upcoming software release schedule for the Sega Saturn, detailing games expected from late November through December, including titles currently listed as undecided or planned for winter. The schedule is broken down by date, listing the game title, its price, the developer or publisher, its genre, abbreviated with a key provided, and any specific notes on compatibility or version. The explanatory section clarifies the genre abbreviations, covering everything from action, and RPG role-playing, to SLG simulation, SHT shooting, SPT sports, and various others. It also lists compatible peripherals, like the racing controller, shuttle mouse, and multi-terminal 6, along with notes on age restrictions, and symbols indicating new entries or title changes in the schedule. Scanning through the list reveals a diverse lineup, featuring notable titles such as the fighting game crossover X-Men vs. Street Fighter, requiring 4 MB RAM, the highly anticipated RPG Grandia, the speedy platformer Sonic R, the rail shooter sequel Virtua Cop 2, and other significant releases across different genres, like Real Bout Fatal Fury Special, Shining Force 2i, and Transport Tycoon. This schedule serves as the essential reference for Saturn players eager to know which games are coming and when, helping them plan their purchases from the wide variety of software hitting the system.
This page continues the upcoming software release schedule, moving into early 1998 and beyond. As expected, the list features a mix of confirmed release dates and many titles still marked as undecided for spring, summer, or simply within the year. Scanning through the schedule for 1998 reveals highly anticipated titles like the epic RPG Panzer Dragoon Saga, listed here as a Perzel, Sentimental Graffiti, and the arcade perfect fighting game Street Fighter Alpha 3. Which, like other major fighters, requires the 4 MB RAM cartridge. We also see Sakura Wars 2 planned, a massive sequel for a beloved series, alongside the continued releases of Shining Force 2 is broken into its multiple scenarios. Survival horror fans can look forward to the House of the Dead. The list encompasses a wide range of genres, from deep RPGs and simulations to action games and shooters, reflecting the diverse library the Saturn boasts. Many titles are listed with specific peripheral support, like the mouse or handle controller, indicating their intended playstyle. While many dates remain TBD, this schedule provides a clear look at the exciting software pipeline for the Sega Saturn heading into 1998.
This page is all about giving back to the readers, featuring a special present campaign from the magazine. The main focus is a prize giveaway, where readers can win items by submitting a questionnaire. The prizes are quite exciting, especially for fans of Neon Genesis Evangelion. There are multiple Evangelion prize sets, including cool mascot keychains, stylish mug cups, unique zipper pull figures, and a set of soft figures featuring Rei Ayanami in various outfits like her plug suit and swimsuit. Beyond the Evangelion gear, they are also giving away SEGA Saturn software to 20 lucky winners. One section shows a screenshot from an anime game, asking readers about the location shown, likely part of the questionnaire. The page also previews the next issue, mentioning a feature on secrets of known licenses, and continuing the discussion of hot upcoming titles, including the eagerly awaited epic RPG, Azel, Panzer Dragoon Saga. There's also a section listing winners from a previous contest, featuring prizes like SEGA Saturn software, Capcom t-shirts, Tokimeki memorial posters, cotton merchandise, and Sonic Jam guides, showing a wide range of items from different games and publishers. Contact info is provided for magazine inquiries, but not for game hints. This page features an advertisement for the SEGA Saturn game Princess Quest. The main visual shows 5 distinct anime-style female characters, likely the main protagonists. The tagline across the top translates to something like, "Beautiful ones, suspicious ones." Their name is Princess. Below the character art, the prominent title, Princess Quest, is displayed, followed by the Japanese title. The advertisement highlights that it is a SEGA Saturn exclusive Bishoujo fantasy RPG and announces its planned release in December at a price of 5,800 yen plus tax. The bottom section provides contact information for the publisher, Increment Aesop Corporation, including their address, phone number, and website, along with IPC and SEGA Saturn logos. This page is a full-blown advertisement from Capcom, showcasing their exciting lineup for the SEGA Saturn, heavily promoting the use of the 4MB expansion RAM cartridge. The main focus is on the highly anticipated arcade perfect port of X-Men vs. Street Fighter, featuring a dynamic splash art of numerous characters from both universes clashing. This groundbreaking fighting game required the 4MB RAM cart to deliver a faithful arcade experience on the console. Capcom highlights that X-Men vs. Street Fighter is just the first in a series of upcoming titles that will utilize the 4MB expansion. They tease 2 more major releases: the Dungeons & Dragons collection, which bundles the classic arcade beat-em-ups Tower of Doom and Shadow over Mystara, promising an authentic experience even without the RAM cart, and Marvel Superheroes vs. Street Fighter, another fan-favorite crossover fighter. Screenshots offer a glimpse of the intense tag team action from X-Men vs. Street Fighter. There's also a mention of special trial events for the game held in major cities. It's clear Capcom is leveraging the 4MB cart to bring their premier arcade fighting and action games to the Saturn with unprecedented accuracy.